Welcome back to DR Sports. It's 2:30. It's a Saturday. It's the Saturday Football Show with myself and my brother, Matty Renton. We've also got Tosin, not Tobi, Tosin, and we've also got Matisse. What a show this is going to be. When this clip is on play. Yeah.
Come on, back, baby.
Great to be back.
We're back, baby.
Great energy on today's show. Myself, AGT, just to reintroduce your guests again. We've got the one and only Matty Renton in the building. How are we, fella? Good to see you.
Good to have you back, son. Thank you, bro.
Good to have you back.
Lovely to have him back, in fact. We've got Tosin. How you doing, fella?
I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me on. Yeah.
Do you know what? I've met Tobi, your identical twin, and you're older than him by 3 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
I'm the older brother.
I've met you for like 20 minutes, and already you're my favourite out of the two. He's an Arsenal fan, if you didn't know. Split right down the middle in that family.
Come on,
Arsenal
you
and Tottenham. And we will preview Tottenham's game later on. But on my right, as always, man like Matisse. How you doing, fella?
It's good to be back. It's good to be back. I heard there's a lot of Chelsea slander while I was away, so I'm here to correct that and make it. I heard Nicky was getting out of control and whatnot.
With me as the host?
Yeah,
Good
you
luck.
as the host, so
Good
I
luck,
know you
buddy.
wasn't keeping control of that environment. Yep.
Well, listen, I was contributing to it.
I bet
fact.
you was.
Don't worry about that. Listen, it's great to be back, isn't it, boys? We've got a belter show for you. 2 3 o'clock games in the Premier League. We've also got the reaction to come from Leicester versus Crystal Palace. Big up to everyone that's in the comments right now. Make sure you smash that like button, comment as well, and subscribe if you haven't already. Big up to Paul Tierney in the chat. Hi, guys, from Ireland. Hope you're keeping well. I actually found out I was mainly Irish in my ancestry.com recently, so there you go. Big up to my Irish brothers and sisters in the building. Big up the panel, says DNYG. I fully thought Tobi was on. Thank God it's not, says AF. Big up to you. Palace a bang average. Say no to Palace as a hashtag. Do you think that one's going to catch on? Not too sure. Tosin makes his debut. The better twin, in my opinion. Come on, you Gunners, says
Who's
Marsh.
I can take him out to dinner or something.
Oh!
I got a wife, so
Yeah, well,
not in that way.
this
mate.
person's actually got a kid in their picture as well, so maybe don't say that on your debut. We are going to make predictions, or we have made predictions. No more whiteboards. We're trying to cut back on costs, so we do it all digitally now. We've predicted the 3 o'clock kickoffs: Fulham, Bournemouth, and Wolves and Nottingham Forest. Looking forward to getting those in. And the loser at the end will do the Chilli challenge.
Oh, dear.
I know you're not a big fan of that kind of thing.
Didn't enjoy it last time. Do you want to do it this time?
Yeah.
So,
Well, listen, your brother's done it before. He found
Tony,
it.
right?
Last week, Neeks was awful. There was tears coming down his face. So let's just hope it's not you that has to eat those chilies. Right, let's talk about the 12:30 kickoff then. Leicester versus Crystal Palace. Before the game, James Maddison, Matty, said it was embarrassing to be at the bottom of the table before the game. Well, things haven't changed. They're still there.
Well, he should have came to Newcastle, shouldn't he?
Oof.
He had the chance.
We talked about this yesterday, weren't we?
We did.
He had the chance to. Well, he had the chance to move, and he decided to stay because he fancies himself of getting a better deal when his contract runs out, which makes sense. Obviously, he can demand whatever fee he wants come next summer, but if he's going to whinge about being in a relegation battle, he had options to move on, and it's a matter of time before he does it, to be fair, and it is quite embarrassing. I see Leicester's downfall now is quite remarkable. Really, FA Cup winners not long ago.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big downfall.
Back-to-back
What was
fifth
the
place
score in that
finishes.
game? In the FA Cup?
No need to remind me. It's fine.
No, it's okay.
No need to remind me
No, it's all
whatsoever.
good.
I think Maddison, Newcastle would be a great fit.
Yeah.
Especially with
I
Eddie
think
Howe,
so
the
as well.
crowd as well. Obviously, would be right behind him. I think it would be a
Perfect,
great
really.
fit. So I do hope he actually ends up going there, even in the summer.
Are they still in for him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so, isn't
Yeah.
it?
No more
Quality
target in
player.
January, actually.
I'd like him at Liverpool, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
No.
You'd
he'd
like a
be
lot
good
of people at Liverpool, wouldn't you?
Chill out.
11th place.
Yeah.
Yeah. All good, mate.
What about
No worries.
Arthur? Surely he's going to come to
Oh,
the
he's
force.
injured.
Oh.
He's injured.
Oh.
3 months, bro. Played 13 minutes for Liverpool so far. But let's go back to Leicester. If it isn't Newcastle, where else could he go? We've mentioned a couple of other clubs. I mean, I think it would make sense for him to join you with that kind of Bruno and Joel into midfield. You've got everything
Perfect
really
fit,
there.
really.
You've got a great balance. But where else could he go?
He's been linked with us. Tottenham. I thought Tottenham would maybe look at him for attacking midfield. They don't really have much creativity outside of Kane and Kulusevski, but they never went for him. And Eriksen was there for a free as well, never went for him. Man United, maybe.
Kante never really, he doesn't really do these like number 10 type, Maddison type plays. He's more of your forwards or midfielders that are all purpose. I can't see Maddison going to Tottenham. Newcastle would be good. Him playing with Bruno, because as much as I don't like to say it, Newcastle are actually building a good team. You got
That's right, baby.
Bruno.
Why don't you like to say it? What have you got
No,
against
because
Newcastle?
I like Newcastle, but it's just like, obviously, I'm not one of these Saudi agenda guys, but I just don't like it that clubs are just bypassing the process you need to go through and just throwing money at a problem.
Wrong shirt today, Warkid.
Don't know what you mean. What do you mean?
But
Newcastle have always traditionally worn a bit of green on their kits.
He's always been wearing green.
Yeah.
English connection, if anything.
yeah, I'd like to see Maddison with Bruno. That would be good. That would be fantastic. And then Isak in front of them. He's going to eat goals with both of them in the team.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
Yeah.
We've just seen him get a yellow card right at the death with 15 seconds to go. Gets a
Dive.
yellow card
Shameful.
for a dive. I mean, it's not looking good for Leicester, and I think it is just a matter of time before they either sack Rodgers and pay him out, or they just carry on with what they're seeing. But right now, in terms of goal contributions, he's got 27, the most of any English midfielder since August 2021.
Great record.
So if he's got those kind of numbers, he would deserve better than Leicester. But what about the World Cup? Is he going to get in that team, or let alone the team, the squad? Because with those numbers, again, ahead of Saka, Foden and Mount, three names that you probably have as shoo-ins in the squad.
Well, you see Southgate was in the crowd today.
Yeah.
Didn't obviously impress today, but those numbers speak for themselves. You're putting up them numbers on the board. You've got to be in with a shout. But he wasn't called up to the last two games before Qatar. I don't think he'll take them now unless it was an injury. And I think England are missing out massively with that, with pessimistic Southgate.
Yeah, I agree. Fully agree. I don't see him going, because Southgate has his favourites, but it's pretty dumb to have his favourites because like England are going into the World Cup.
Well, the favourites aren't great.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not working
They're
out too well at
they're
the
going
minute.
in woefully unprepared, in my opinion. I can't see it going well in Qatar.
I had him in my starting 11 when we did the England debate show.
Oh, yeah.
I had him in my starting 11 for England, let alone making the squad. I think
Yeah.
he's quality. Set piece taker, creates a bundle of chances,
Yeah.
can score goals from distance. Kind of gives you everything you need in that attacking midfield role. And with Rice, backing him up, Bellingham around him as well. If you surround him with more quality, that's what he's doing in a Leicester team now.
Facts.
Are demotivated, and are on the downward trajectory. Since obviously players leaving, Fofana, contracts running out, and like I said, 5th place back to back. That takes its toll. Same with Liverpool in a way, with like missing out on the Premier League by a point. Or was it on the final day? Was it?
Yeah, absolutely. Final 10 minutes, mate.
So,
He had to get the dig in there.
bro, I'm racking them up after. I've been hearing on this show. Chelsea been taking.
On this show, I'm well ahead of you when it comes to that.
Like, he did not need to mention Liverpool.
No, listen, let us know what you think in the comments. Does James Maddison get in that squad? Not a great performance from him today. But Brendan Rodgers is looking stressed, if I'm honest. But it's a difficult situation with him because he knows things aren't going well. But I feel like there's this feeling that the owners also know that if they sack him, it's going to cost them a lot of money.
Of course.
Yeah.
So at this stage, if there's no one else out there that you want, it's kind of just like a stalemate, and no one really cares on both ends.
It's just weird. Like, why, if you're going to, you didn't back him in the summer. Like, I don't think they should be surprised that Leicester are doing this. The Premier League is a beast. If teams like Brentford and West Ham can buy like the likes of Paqueta and stuff, like this is the Premier League, the nature of it. You have to keep spending to keep with the pack. And if you're not going to back a manager, don't be mad when he's not doing what you expect him to do with this team. They're not good enough to be challenging the way they were for Europe 2 seasons ago. So
There's no real dignity in football anymore in terms of managers walking away as they used to be. Early 2000s, these managers would walk away if they felt that they'd done as best as they could. But now, everybody waits for a paycheck. And Brendan Rodgers is doing that. You know what I mean? He's waiting for the payoff. And why wouldn't he, in a sense? Do you know what I mean? He's waiting for that payoff. He's done the best he can. He's
like
hit the
Isak,
Leicester
yeah?
ceiling.
Like Isak
So-
and Bruno Guimaraes, they were waiting for the paycheck from Newcastle.
Nah, don't you talk about
Oh, okay.
And he's-
Humble, nice 10k a week raise wages. I was going to say, if this stalemate continues, because we've been talking about this for weeks now,
Yeah.
who's going to buckle first? Is it going to be the owners, or is it going to be Rodgers, or are they just going to just stay in this stalemate for a payout? Could he potentially get them relegated? And does he want that on his CV?
He can't get them ready.
Surely not, right? With the quality that they've got,
Nah.
but they are at the bottom of the table.
I mean,
so
listen, 10 games in, let's look at the table after 38. You'd like
True.
to think, well, Leicester fans certainly would, that they're not going to be in that bottom 3. But from what they've shown us, I mean, is this as poor a start that you had last season, or is it worse? Because obviously
I think it's
Newcastle
the same.
turned it around in November.
I think it's the
same,
same. Yeah,
isn't it?
about 5 points was about the same, and we turned around. But Leicester aren't too big to go down. We've seen big teams go down
true.
in the past. We've seen Newcastle went down with Michael Owen up front.
Mm-hmm.
So true.
They can go down with Jimmy Vardy up front.
Yeah, man, it's
And
great. really.
Everton scraped it last season as well, so it's
Massive,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. They're in 19th. Let us know in the comments. Do they go down? Let's get on to the starting 11s in the Fulham versus Bournemouth game. Matty, do you want to run through that Fulham team?
Yeah. Fulham have got Bren, Leno and goal, Reed, Cabano. It's not in formation, by the way. Mitrovic isn't playing left back, but I'm just reading it out as it is on the screen. Mitrovic, Reem, Cordova, Reed, Pereira, Dan James, Palvina, Diop, and Robinson is the starting 11 for Fulham. Fulham looking to bounce back as well, really, aren't they? I mean, they had a great start. They've fizzled out a little bit the last few weeks. They need a result today. I talked to a Bournemouth side that's actually unbeaten in 5 games since Gary O'Neill took charge.
Absolutely.
They've got Neto, Fredericks, Cook, Mepham, Lerma, Solanke, Christie, Smith, Tavernier, Senesi, and Billing.
Well, there you go. Is it going to be a good game? I mean, as you mentioned, Fulham started off so well, had their bubble burst a little bit last week at home to Newcastle and then lost again. If they win this one, they kind of go back into the category of, well, actually, they're overachieving this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the priority is to stay up, and they've got off to a great start, but there's a long way to go. Long way to go.
But Bournemouth are actually doing. I've actually been impressed with them. I mean, you lose your manager, and your manager says this team's not good enough to compete. The caretaker manager comes in and he's unbeaten. Like, come on.
Yeah, since Liverpool beat Bournemouth 9-0, Bournemouth have actually taken more points in the Premier than Liverpool.
And everyone turned.
I didn't know that.
Stats. Yeah,
and everyone turned their eyes up at sacking Scott Parker, didn't they? Early doors, but it's working out well.
Had a bad attitude, clearly.
Well, Gary O'Neill, who came in initially, was under 18 at Liverpool, and kind of that's how he started his career. So I'm taking it. You know, as the Liverpool manager. Yeah, no, we'll take that. We'll take that. Well, there's nothing more that we can get at the minute. It is, bro. It is. Let's go to the Molineux Stadium, Nottingham Forest away in the Midlands derby. This one could be a bit tasty. Did you see the picture of Emmanuel Dennis on Forest's social account? It was him with a load of baby wolves under him. Right. And rattled Wolves fans, I tell you, they weren't happy. They start with Johnny Sarr in goal, Johnny, Kilman, Totti, Aitnuri, Moutinho, Neves, the new captain for Wolves, just been announced. Nunes, Mateus Nunes, Traore gets a start, a rare start, with Diego Costa and Daniel Podence up front. That is a strong attacking lineup there from Wolves.
It is.
Interesting to see how they get on. Forest, they need a win, 5 points as well for them. Henderson in goal, Nico Williams, Cook, McKenna, Toffolo, Freuler, Yates, Kouyaté, Johnson, Dennis, who scored in midweek, and Gibbs White, the £45 million man. Forest, big trouble. They've backed their manager to the hill. They've given him a new contract, Steve Cooper.
Super weird.
What do you think about their kind of business and what they've been doing really in the last few months?
I mean, like, it's to be expected. They bought so many players, spent so much money. And if there's anything Fulham taught us the last time they were in the league and they went down, it's just buying a whole new squad doesn't guarantee your safety. You got. It doesn't seem to me
They bought
like
2 squads.
Yeah,
basically.
it's crazy.
Yeah,
it just doesn't seem to me like I've heard a lot of good things about him in the Championship, Steve, their manager, but it doesn't seem to me like he's got a plan for the players he bought. And even like Gibbs White, he's a decent player, but I just don't get why you spend that much money on a player. And then you got Ling. I look at Nottingham Forest. I don't know what you're trying to do with that team, basically.
Yeah. When you bring in 2 11s and a bench on top of that, there's players that sat at home, not in the 11 or in the bench, and they're thinking, I just signed.
Exactly.
So what's going on? Do you know what I mean?
They sacked their head of recruitment, but backed the manager, which is a bit of a contradiction, is it not?
Slightly. I mean, if you've sacked the head of recruitment, are you already admitting that the window that you just had was wrong? And if that's the case, then
The manager has to take some blame in that as well, surely.
Unless he didn't have a say in any signings.
That's what it looks like it says.
Yeah.
If you're sacking the head of recruitment but giving the manager a new contract, it's like, well, you've done a good job, but don't worry, you didn't pick the players, so I'll give you a new contract.
I know they had a lot of players on loan, like Spence and whatnot, but mad, isn't it, that all the players it feels that came up, that did all that hard work to get to the Premier League, what is there, none left from that? It's insane. Mad. I don't know. It's nuts.
Well, that's the second 3 o'clock kickoff, and then Tottenham play Everton at home. Just a quick word on that one. We'll preview it in more detail later on, but Tottenham need to win this game. So do Everton, really, and I suppose it's the Richarlison derby.
Yeah, it is. I was looking at I was reading an article about it, but Lampard was basically saying like they love him in Merseyside. I can actually see him scoring against Everton.
Who, Frank
today.
Lampard?
No,
Richarlison.
Richarlison, obviously, but I can see him scoring. I don't expect Spurs to lose this. If they do, I'll be shocked.
I'm pleasantly happy as well about. I'm sure it's an Arsenal fan.
Yeah. I'll be happy though if Spurs lost. I'd be chuffed.
It'll be interesting to see if Richarlison even starts. I don't know if he's got a goal in the Premier League yet.
He starts.
I think he's got one.
I think he got one. Yeah.
But that'll be a dead game. That's a dead game for me, that.
Yeah.
Boring game. I'm glad it's not on 3 o'clock for us. It is,
Yes.
Lampard, he's doing good well. I mean, I think one of the best defensive records in the league. But
Yeah.
you know what Kante is like? It'll be like a 1-0 or a 2-0 Spurs, that game.
Yeah.
It won't be anything exciting,
So
I wouldn't imagine.
you think Lampard's doing well at Everton? Because I saw.
I
Like,
don't, personally.
I don't. But people are saying
Just check
like
where
he's
they are in
doing
the
a
league.
decent job.
But when you look at Everton's team, do you expect much more from Everton than
I
what
mean,
you're
Everton
seeing?
don't have a strike. Like, got Salomon Rondon, who's
Yeah.
50 next week.
I
Do you know what I mean?
definitely do.
What are you meant to do with that?
Mopai.
Mopai.
Calvert-Lewin's decent, always injured.
Got the same points as you,
He's
mate.
not
Yeah.
very good, though,
10
is he?
points.
No, but he's decent.
He's,
Oh, we're
he,
not good
he,
either.
He's
he
a
doesn't
new-
strike me as a striker I could rely on to get me Mopai.
No,
No,
unless
but
you
he's
win-
a-
How many
he's a-
goals can you?
unless you
he's
win
a
the
nuisance
penalties
in the
every
Premier
game.
League,
Unless you win in
though.
the penalties. No. But Everton are 12th. I think that's
That's
if Everton
good.
finished 12th. That's a good season for them.
Like when I
also.
look at their team, I like Onana. I was saying this yesterday. I think.
What's his name?
Onana.
What's my name?
What's their name? Yeah, I like him. I think West Ham probably missed a trick getting him. I think him and Rice would have been a
player,
great
yeah.
double pivot. But when I look through that Everton team, outside of like the new players that come in, Tchaikovsky, Cody, when you look further forward, it's Gordon or bust really. So it's
Well,
not
listen,
great, and he's a kid.
As I said, we'll preview that one in much more depth in the second half of the show. Let's talk about the game that happened last night. Ivan Toney back
Baller.
amongst the goals.
Serious
100%
serious player.
from the penalty spot so far in his Brentford career. 30 out of 30 penalties.
That's
Such a
mental.
Captain as well last night. Speaking of James Maddison going to the World Cup, do you think, and I'll ask all of you this, starting with Tosin, do you think he is the shoe-in as the backup centre-forward to go to the World Cup, considering he didn't even get a minute in his last call-up?
I think if you ask the people, he should be. But if you ask Southgate, I don't think so. Because it's weird. Why would you bring him into the team? There's so much fanfare made about him being in the team and not give him any minutes at all. And it seems like Southgate's made his mind up about who's going to be starting, who's going to be heavily involved in the World Cup. So I see Toney being in the team. I just don't really see him getting much games. And it's weird as well because you almost want to see how he does with the team Nations League doesn't really count as competitive matches, but you get what I mean. In match settings, and I don't think I've seen enough from him in match settings to suggest that Southgate is going to go to him when Kane is misfiring in the England team.
It was mental how he didn't even get 10, 20
Crazy.
minutes in those two games. To not even get 20 minutes here and there. Like,
that's poor.
why? Why not? I mean, he offers so much. I'm not
Such a
having
good
this
player.
thing about target man just because he's a big athletic forward. He's so good on the ball.
Really
his
good.
runs are good. His movement's great.
Technically,
his finishing's brilliant.
He's really
Oh,
good.
yeah.
He's
'Cause he started at
basically
Newcastle.
quality all-round
He
striker.
started at Newcastle,
Yeah.
and then he went. I remember when he went from Peterborough to Brentford, and people were talking about him. And when Brentford got promoted, they were saying, "Can he do what he did in the Championship, in the Premier League?" And last season he was good. This season I feel like he's even better because you're seeing more of his technical ability, the way he lays off chances for teammates as well. I think he's a really good player. It would be a shame to not see him play.
Do you remember the free kick he scored this season as well?
Unbelievable. Leeds, that was
Audacious.
at home.
Disgusting.
Leeds. A good 35 yards.
Mad.
Small run up.
Yeah.
Not much backlift. Is he the best penalty taker in the Premier League right now?
Stats
With
don't
that
lie.
I mean,
record,
you'd have to
without
back him.
doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't
What did
miss.
he say?
So
30 pence, 30.
out of
You
30.
know what I mean?
You have to
100%.
back
100%
crazy.
conversion
I'd say
rate.
maybe
Bring
10
him on
of
for a
those have been in
shootout,
the
if anything. He's worth
Well,
quarter-final shootout against,
Yeah,
bring him
well,
on the World Cup for a
We'll see
shootout.
his penalty shootout decision.
against Jorginho.
Southgate's penalty shootout decision making isn't quite up there. So I
No,
don't
it's
know
not
about
like...
that one.
not-
Saka's putting away the pens, obviously.
Would you give him another? Would you give him another go?
100. Put away the pens.
Redemption story.
Yeah.
Listen, redemption story is nice. If he was to admit,
Southgate didn't he? Southgate missed the pen and he took 1 year later and scored.
no, fair, yeah.
Well, we've put a poll up. Should Ivan Toney go to the World Cup? Let us know in the comments. If it isn't him, who do England take to the World Cup? I mean,
Callum Wilson.
I was going to say
do you
that,
think he's up there ahead of Toney?
No, because he was always injured.
but he's fit now. It's actually Isaac that's injured.
He
If
scored.
anything,
He's fit again. He's fit again, but you just can't rely on him.
He
honestly.
scores when he's fit, though.
He does. He's unbelievable when he's fit, but it's too far in between. He has a run of 5 or 6 games, scores 5 or 6 goals, and then gets injured for 5 or 6 weeks.
Bowen? Or
Gareth
Antonio?
He hasn't been that good this season.
Antonio
Born,
plays
has
for
he?
Jamaica.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's at Jamaica. He scored a screamer
really?
for them. Yeah.
Since when?
Couple of years, man.
To be
What?
fair, he was never going to get any England.
Pledges in
England squad really consistently, so it was always making more sense to go over there. I
mean,
think Callum Wilson, Toney, and Kane for me, that's the top three. I know Abraham's been in there before, but I don't think
He's not doing too well this season, is he?
Nah, I don't think he's on the same level as what Tony and
It's
Callum.
a bit unlucky,
Wilson have
really,
been
that the World
producing.
Cup wasn't last year.
Yeah.
Abraham.
Yes, he
Last
is.
year,
He is
hasn't
because he had a great
Yeah.
year last year. Really, really good year. Trying to think who else. I mean,
Is there anyone? I mean, you've got Watkins, Ings, maybe right on the periphery.
Not this season.
No,
Not
this
now.
season.
Southgate
Season,
loves
of course,
Watkins as well.
He does.
Southgate
Not
always
this
thinks
season, though.
Watkins is dead.
Not this
I don't
season.
rate
Watkins
at all.
dead.
no.
Really
Callum Wilson
disrespectful.
and Tony are
Definitely
better.
Wilson.
Better finishers, better players for me.
I'd go with. I'd have to edge Tony just because of his fitness.
Why not take
I
both?
But if,
Yeah.
no, there's no way
Yeah,
Southgate does
but
that.
he should be really in it.
Well, we might as well take Danny Welbeck as well then.
No.
What's
No.
Heskey doing these days?
What's
For me-
Rohan Ricketts
For
up
me, you take Kane, you take Tony, you take Wilson. You got a fox in the box in Wilson. You got
But he
Tony.
never
who-
plays with more than one number 9 up front.
Listen, all it takes is one injury, and what now?
All it takes is England being 1-0 down.
Yeah,
chasing
and
the
then
game,
suddenly you need-
throws on.
Defoe used to be that guy.
Yeah, you need
didn't
bodies.
he?
Oh, yeah,
When
yeah.
either
Defoe was
Ruin
a
or
baller.
Owen was injured, chuck Defoe on. Yeah. So do you know what? Maybe we should do a question as well in a later show, maybe next week. Forgotten about English strikers that made little caps, scored little goals.
David
Let us know
Nugent.
if you want to hear that. David Nugent, 1 for 1.
Did he have a cap?
One cap,
David
one
Nugent,
goal.
yeah, he did.
100% record.
Yeah.
Legend in my eyes.
The best. Sam Allardyce.
Yeah.
100% win record. There you
Yeah.
go.
Jesus.
Someone
Awesome.
mentioning Rashford in the chat,
Ali
Ali A. You know
Is
what? It's a
Rashford a
good
striker?
shout.
Is he a winger?
This
Still don't
This
know.
is what you need to nail down before he gets in that
back.
conversation. DMYG saying rash fraud. I mean, no one's really mentioning him. Do you think that's unfair?
I don't think it's unfair. I think it suits Rashford because there's people forget like he's still relatively young in his career and he's actually a baller. I rate Rashford. I just think there's way too much attention that gets put on him. So this season, for me, he's not really been bad. He's actually been, for me, one of Man United's best players. He should go to the World Cup and he should go with a low profile as well so he can show people what he can do without everyone putting him on the pedestal that he never put himself on in the first place.
Another player that was floating, I've just thought, was Patrick Bamford from Leeds, but again, his fitness is concerns, isn't it?
Injured.
Again, if it was a year or so ago when he was banging them in, but his injury record was actually worse than Wilson's, to be fair.
Yeah, it really is.
Always
Can't lie.
gets injured.
But he did make a couple or two.
Right, we are 5 minutes away from the 3 o'clock kickoff, so we're also going to keep a close eye on the Championship, the League One, League Two. We actually, a couple of weeks ago, started covering Wrexham Barnet, because that was 7-5.
7-5.
In the National Vanarama South League.
Ryan Reynolds' team, right?
There you go. And I used to work at Barnet Football Club selling burgers in the away end. when I was
perfect
17, so.
I'd have ate all the burgers.
No, I did. I got sacked, actually, from...
For that reason.
Well, I was eating them, but I was taking them to the bin, and Paolo Di Canio walked past. Swindon manager at the time, 2011, got a selfie with him, and in the back of the selfie you can see my old boss going, "What are you doing?" I had like a bin bag full of steaming hot burgers I was taking to the bin, so I was like that. And she's like, "What are you doing? You can't do that, you're sacked." I was like,
Oh man,
"Oh,
harsh.
well, you can take them then."
But what's she doing?
I'm going
now?
off
Look
to
at
the-
you.
Exactly.
Look
I'm
at
going
you.
off to
Did you at least
Where
get to
are
take
you?
the Did you at least get to take the burgers?
Yeah, that was
now?
her name. Greasy hair. Well, it would be working in there, but big up. Big up to Captain Meat's Adventures.
Good channel name, that. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Fowler and Ian Wright overlooked at international level.
True.
Yeah,
I suppose the likes of Fowler,
timing.
Wright, maybe Ferdinand as well, Les Ferdinand,
Yeah,
maybe
Les
got
Ferdinand.
overlooked because of the likes of Shearer, Teddy Sheringham's. Yeah, I'd agree actually. I think Fowler especially got looked past a lot.
Andy Cole.
Andy Cole.
Peter Crouch.
Another one. Peter Crouch had a very good record for England. I think it was 22 goals in 48
Yeah.
games or something,
Mm.
which is pretty sensational if you think about it. Hat-trick against Jamaica
I was
once
about
as
to say
well.
that. I had a robot dance.
Absolutely.
Christ.
Who plays at right back for England now has to be Benjamin White, says Ash L.
It'll be Trippier.
Yes, it will be. Definitely will be.
Ben White's not even in the squad.
But you
It's
can
gonna be
understand.
Trippier.
But you can understand why that's being said though, because he's been a revelation for Arsenal.
Oh yeah,
this
for
season.
sure. But that's in a
Trippier
that's,
should be there though.
That's in a back four, and we know that Southgate could play wing backs as well, and that's where Trippier also comes into it. And he loves Trippier. He absolutely loves him. Set piece taker, goal against, what was it, Croatia? Was it? He loves him, man. Yeah, he loves him.
In the final for Euros.
He's gonna play Trippier. If Ben White can get himself back into the squad, which I think he deserves to be, he should be in the squad. Then that would be
Take Maguire.
He will be now though because of the injuries. There's no other.
Take Maguire out, put him in.
You never know. With Southgate,
Well,
you might not pick him still.
Let us know your thoughts on that one or everything England as we head into the World Cup period. Matty Renton is underrated. Should be in the England squad, says Tendy Item.
Nice one, pick up there.
Good to you, fella.
Southgate, are you listening?
AGT on the burger is better in America or the UK? I would say probably America, but they all want tips, so no.
Still not letting that go.
Nah, still not let it go. Right, I've just had a bit of bad news come up. Obviously, we're looking forward to the Liverpool-Man City game tomorrow. I've been talking him up all week. Kante just come back from injury.
He's injured.
It feels like
Jesus.
I'm getting some confirmed reports that David Ornstein has tweeted about how he is now injured.
Yes.
Which is a massive letdown for me, unless you
Definitely.
guys are making that up. But, I mean, I'd like to believe you guys.
I think I heard that he was. I think I heard that before. That he was injured.
Not having much luck with the old injuries, is he?
That is a big one for
Right,
Liverpool.
that's why
It
they're
really
playing
is.
bad.
But Matip's
Injuries.
injured as well, so I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow.
So yeah, 4 minutes ago, David Ornstein, Liverpool centre-back, Kante, doubtful for Man City, 23-year-old France international, the latest Liverpool injury concern with a muscle problem. Issue said to be minor, but he missed training on Friday and won't be risked.
He's injury prone, isn't he?
Who's a bigger loss, him or Matip?
They're both equal, if I'm honest.
And they're both injured, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that because
So-
it looked like Matip has been the best.
Is that Milner at right back? I mean,
Gomez at
geez.
centre back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trent's injured.
Trent's injured.
What about the other guy you signed on as well?
Ramsey, he's injured.
Yeah.
He's injured. He's
No, is he
injured.
not?
Do you chuck him in at City at home?
Is he
Better
fit?
than a 39-year-old Milner against pacey
Have some
Foden and that.
Is Ramsey fit?
No.
Oh.
Well, he's in
Big chance,
training,
mate.
but
Big
he hasn't
chance.
been in a squad yet, so I don't know what's
Time
going
to
on
buckle
there.
up, I think.
Yeah, straight out.
It is,
frying
man.
pan.
No, that's kind of
I'd say just dash him in.
I'll put him in and then
Bro,
put Gomez centre back.
Literally, just dash him in. Let's just see what happens.
At least he's going to
You've
be
got
quicker
nothing
than
to lose.
Milner, isn't he?
You just
What do you lose?
exactly.
Not looking
Milner's
good,
not going to
bruv.
handle him.
It's not looking good, bruv.
It's not fair on Milner.
Demolition job at Anfield tomorrow, says
Oh,
Billy.
it is gonna be a demolition job, isn't it?
I don't want to tease that preview too much because we're
Tease
going to get
me.
into it a lot later. But there's a lot of people talking about that game already.
Big
Let's
game.
get into some of the other games at the weekend as it turns to 3 o'clock. The games are underway now. Let's look at you guys tomorrow. We're hearing in the comments as well that you have a few injuries for tomorrow. I'm not sure if you saw this, but it looks like some Maximum, Shelby, and Isaac all out for tomorrow.
Well, yeah, Isaac and Shelby have been out for weeks on end now, but the bad news is that, similar with Kante, that St. Maximin was due to be back. He came off the bench against Brentford last week, but he's injured again. St. Maximin, so that's a big blow. However, Murphy and Almiron have been playing out the skin the last couple of weeks. You know, they've the unchanged side the last 2 games, 1-4-1, 1-5-1. So it doesn't matter.
He's a lot
Still
more
gonna go Old
he's a
Trafford.
lot more confident now, Almiron.
Massively, yeah.
He
Different player.
struck me as like a little boy when he came to the Premier League. Now he's more playing like an actual Premier League player. A lot more confidence
now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Different
He
player.
can take the
So what
big
happens-
tackles and.
Yeah. Happens when you get a proper coach, though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Also what
I was
happens when another player
actually going to
slags
say
you off.
that.
Motivation.
What do you think about that now?
Grealish, shocking. Look at him now. Grealish 1 goal, Almiron 4 this season. Who's laughing? Not Jack.
You got to look at Eddie Howe, though. Great coach.
He is. I don't know
Yes,
why
coach.
he was where he like went under the radar before, because he did a great job at Bournemouth as well. So it's like I can't actually remember Eddie Howe not doing a good job. So I don't know where people.
point.
Well, I don't know why people are shocked. Really.
David in the comments says I can see Newcastle win versus United, and they got a draw v City, so they know how to play football for sure with their manager. And he showed how he is a quality manager that made Newcastle compete ahead of schedule.
I think the first time in my life that I'm confident of heading to Old Trafford tomorrow and getting a win.
Really?
I really am, mate. Really, really am. I think we're going to win. I'm that confident.
Even with the
Put
injuries?
money on it. Yeah, even with the injuries, because of the way we've been playing.
I
the
can
team that we've been playing.
I'm
telling you, we're winning tomorrow. Save this.
I can see that.
Save this.
I
We're
had
winning
it down as a
tomorrow.
draw.
It could be a statement win for them to show we are. And I can't see any reason why Newcastle shouldn't be mentioned in the race for top 4. Like they got
Top 4.
Yeah, like
Not top 6. Top 4.
no, top 4. Yeah, like they're playing really well. Got a good coach. I see no reason.
But do they have
We
the
know
squad
it.
depth?
Well, we're proving
Yeah,
it
but
at the minute with Val Murphy and Almiron.
I mean, you're not in Europe, so
Nowhere.
you're not in Europe. You just have to keep people
I
fit.
mean, it's
for
sixth
the league.
versus fifth. Tomorrow, if we win tomorrow, we'll go above Manchester United again into fifth.
Yeah.
And it was the early goal in the Premier League, and it's went to Bournemouth.
And the cherry strike. And who scored it, Matty?
Dominic Solanke.
Wow.
Big early goal.
Early goal.
Big early goal.
My prediction is still
Big
on.
goal.
Yeah,
Your
mine is.
prediction still on?
Mine's looking good, bro.
Prediction
I
still
don't
on?
think I've sent you mine.
We'll send them.
Cheating now. That's it. Automatic chili.
Have you said it?
I
two
wasn't
chilies.
asked to send predictions.
You were.
my
You still have my
man.
number.
What?
Oh, do you know what?
Controversial.
Because of that, we're gonna have to get a VAR check on
Yeah,
that.
controversial.
But I
that.
think that does result in a fine of 2 chilies each.
Yeah,
What?
yeah,
No, no, no,
yeah,
that's ridiculous.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
ridiculous.
No, we told you. Jason
okay.
came in and said, send it to Alex.
Need to be listening before the
Honestly,
show starts.
yeah,
man.
he's
I don't
probably
mind.
having a Twitter war.
I'll take the chili. I'll take the chili. I don't mind.
2 minutes in, though. First game in the Premier League. First
Big
goal
goal.
for Solanke.
Big up to Ian Freitu says, you lot are clowns.
Thank you.
Eddie Howe got Bournemouth relegated. He's bang average.
After
That is
5
such a
years.
silly
I
statement.
know.
After
It is
5
terrible.
years.
That is.
So it was him that got
knowledge.
it.
It was him, yeah.
Not the lack of
Jesus.
investment. Him.
Yeah, not the lack of investment. It's down to
Kenny
Eddie Howe that
Mucken.
they got relegated.
Grealish
Did he not
is
take them
still
up?
laughing. He's Prem winners medal.
Well, does he? He shouldn't even have one, should he? Really? What did he do?
Ooh.
What a great
That's
do last
harsh.
year. Deserve that.
He's playing well this season.
What, Grealish?
Nah.
We do have a solution maybe for the predictions to say them out loud now, but then I don't think that works because we've already had a goal go in.
Yeah.
So no, I'm not having that.
Because they're not going to say now 1-0.
We'll go head to head. I
Aye.
think you've already seen mine anyway. And then
You see mine? I
these-
sent you it.
Yeah, well, you did actually.
Could give a
And then
prediction
these
for
two
Wolves,
Chilli challenge.
Wolves and Nottingham Forest.
Nice.
do that.
Go on then, do that. Say it out loud now.
Okay, Wolves 2, Nottingham Forest 0.
Wolves 2, Nottingham Forest 1.
Close. All right, still Chilli challenge 1 each though. That's fair. That's fair.
Is it
No,
just a
we-
chili by itself, or is it like a very, very hot chicken wing or something?
Do you think we got that budget, mate? They've been in the fridge for years.
I'd love a
It's
chicken
not
wing,
even
to
the
be
space.
honest.
That's the worst thing about it. It's the expiry date.
Mold. That's what you don't eat.
I'd love a chicken wing, not going to lie.
No, I'd love one as well.
That would've been
That's
a
why we
bet-
need to get
much-
a food sponsor on this.
Yeah,
on
we
this
do,
show.
like,
You know?
we
Why do we even
Just Eat, get in touch because we do get hungry.
Why do people still mention Scottish football and like?
Well, it's a good talking point because this week Celtic out of the Champions League.
Shock.
They've now lost 7 home games in the Champions League in a row, and Liverpool went to Rangers and won 7-1.
And Hearts
Does that
got
show
slapped as
you-
well.
And Hearts
Yeah,
got
it did,
slapped.
yeah.
Does that show you? Does it underline the still gaping difference in golfing
Huge,
quality?
huge. I respect the fans of Celtic and Rangers, brilliant fans,
Same.
but the quality over there is absolutely dreadful. Let's be real.
Championship level, would you
Worse,
say?
man. I'm telling you, League One.
They'd struggle in the Championship.
They'd struggle in the
honestly.
Championship.
Put Celtic and Rangers in the Championship. It will be a dogfight for them to even make the
Seriously?
playoffs.
Before,
it
it used to
would.
be put Celtic and Rangers in the Premier League, and,
No
and
way.
they'd probably finish like mid-table. But,
but
do you
then-
remember when they were beating like Barcelona at
Yeah,
home
yeah.
and the good old
Before they
days,
used to
AC
be-
Milan, yeah?
Before they used to be good.
Yeah.
But the Champions, I say that for 2 reasons. Number one, they're just woeful. But number 2, the Championship is actually very competitive. It's super dog eat
I
dog.
don't think they'd finish top half in the Championship.
You don't think so?
No.
Ouch.
You think they'd be in a relegation scrap?
So what?
Yeah.
Norwich, Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, these lot are finishing above them.
Yeah.
Sunderland.
Sunderland. Yeah.
So you would say, I know
Because
you hate
the
Sunderland.
reason why I say this, right, is
would Rangers beat Sunderland?
Yes, come on.
Yeah, they probably
but
would,
Rangers, Rangers last season,
Rangers
they got to the
and
Europa League
Celtic fans are
final
gonna be
and they
coming
beat
through
Dortmund.
and
I don't know if anybody watched that game. Did anybody watch that game? No.
Not much.
Rangers last season beating Dortmund away from home.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
it was unbelievable.
Ryan Kent.
Yeah, they were. So
They were-
Rangers
so
were
this is
good
why
in
I
Europe
wasn't
last
expecting
season.
them to be getting slapped up by Liverpool like this. I thought they were going to be a decent team.
Yeah.
No, Gerrard
No,
wasn't.
no,
Gerrard wasn't
Van
there.
Bronckhorst.
Van Bronckhorst.
Giovanni.
Gerrard left by that point.
Yeah, yeah.
He left for Aston Villa in November last
enough.
2021. I thought Rangers would put up a better fight than that, man. I saw their Europa League travels and it was they were performing against proper heavyweights. So
Ooh, well, speaking of the Championship, Blackburn have gone to Middlesbrough and put an own goal in the back. Well, they've put the goal in their own net. Dara Lenihan in the 4th minute, so Blackburn 1-0 up, a team that won the Premier League in '95.
Yeah.
Unbelievable how long they've been out of the Premier League now. It really is. When was the last time they were in it?
Well, that must be like 2000.
Pedersen days,
7,
Bentley
yeah,
days,
yeah,
Santa
2006.
Cruz
The
days.
days they used to terrorize
2006?
Arsenal.
No,
at
no,
Eden
it
Park.
wasn't, man. It
2006,
was like
FIFA
2011 because...
Was it?
Do you remember when
Yeah,
Gerrard
it
missed
has
the
to
pen
be.
away there and it got Hodgson the sack basically? We lost 3-2 and that was in 10
Yeah, they were
11.
definitely dead
What, when
2010.
Venky's in that?
The Venky's.
They were there
chicken.
2000.
Chicken.
Yeah.
So yeah, Blackburn.
So it was probably
Been a long time.
Managerless Middlesbrough as well, struggling. Had an interview with Michael Carrick the other day.
Yeah,
as the
I heard
manager,
that.
Michael
What do
Carrick.
you
But
reckon?
apparently Carrick doesn't fancy it. Mustn't have got so much ambition. So
What, Michael Carrick?
yeah, he had a manager's job interview for
Oh.
Middlesbrough.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Enough.
But
There you go.
he's assistant at Man United, isn't
Geordie
he? still?
lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He used to live next to me back in the day.
Tyne-Wear Derby.
Nice.
No, that's not what it was. It's
Where-
Tyne. What was it? When Newcastle played Middlesbrough.
Tyneside.
Tyne Tees Derby. or
Tyne
something,
Tees
isn't it?
Tyneside
Derby.
and
Yeah.
Tyne
Tees. Big up into your nan, who says hi AGT. Speaking of people that said hi to us, we were going to Tesco's just before the show.
Well, I should have got his name, shouldn't I?
Should
Really?
have got his name. Big up to you if you're watching right now. He stopped us on the street, went yo, and then looked at Matty and said, "What did he say?"
I seen your face and I knew he'd be with you.
Yeah, that's when you know we're
What, you
about a
Ant
lot
and Deck
together.
or something?
Basically.
Right?
And then he's like, "Come on, let's get a
Deck.
selfie." And I'm not going to lie to you, man. I don't know if you thought this as well. It took a very long time to get the camera up.
Timer.
And then there was a 5-second timer as well. If it wasn't long enough. Joking, mate. Big up to you.
Yeah, big up yourself.
I'm sure you're enjoying this now if you're watching. If you are enjoying yourself as well, then make sure you're liking the video, commenting as well, and subscribe if you haven't already. We are 7 minutes in. The only goal so far is Bournemouth away at Fulham. Sheffield Wednesday in the League. What, they're in League One now.
Yeah,
Lee
yeah.
Gregory scores early on
like
for them
Derby,
away at
man.
Cambridge.
Derby down there as well. Yeah.
Derby there too.
Crazy.
Bolton.
Derby actually come to Anfield in the League Cup in
Did Rooney stick
November.
around? He said he was going to
Nah.
bring them back
Nah,
up.
he
And
went to
remember, he did a
DC
big.
United.
He's an American.
DC United.
He did a big speech in the car park. Do you remember? He said, "Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry, guys,
That's
going to
if you could call it that.
get you back up."
He's an American.
All for the
now,
cameras.
so that didn't work
It
out
was
well.
just swear words every other word. It was like, oh, it's just been great.
I actually believed him.
All the best. No, thanks. Why are the mods deleting that comment about Tosin's hair as if he said something wrong? What?
Huh?
Big up to Riyad Mahrez 26. Not too sure that. Anyway. No, it was this comment. Harris Mo, not trying to be rude, but does both Tosin and Tobes have no hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is what it is.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Identical.
Good lads. Well, they are identical. One of only can't believe.
Unless they want to pay for a hair transplant for me, I'll take
Yeah.
it.
Do you know what? We might have to get a sponsor in the future.
Yeah.
Where Robbie is, and a couple.
I was saying this though when you came onto the Big Six. You both have like the same beard design as well.
Oh yeah.
Like, is this on purpose?
It's the voice for me. That's what I'm struggling with. Like, I saw a video you did with Robbie, and I was like cleaning up, and in the background I heard your voice. I was like, hang on, has Tobes just joined Arsenal as a fan? What's going on? And then I looked, and I was like, I think I dropped a plate, mate.
Yeah, I guess you have to ask God that question. I don't know why we're the same.
I don't think we can get an answer from him right now, but
You're not a member, is he not?
no, he hasn't subscribed.
No,
if you are watching, do hit that bell as well. Yeah, K-Show saying, mums, it's the voice. It is the voice, man. Well, again, we shouldn't be surprised at this. This is how science works. They're
Twins.
literally identical twins. So it still gets me every time. Can't lie. Big up to Nevis, who says, my FPL is in the mud. Any FPL fans still amongst us?
Still trying.
I always fall away. Like
I
third match
didn't even
day.
bother start this year because
No.
I knew I would fall away.
Yeah.
So
You still on it?
Good start this weekend with Toney getting a brace. Yeah.
did you captain
Goal
him?
for Celtic. Speaking of...
Oh, James Forrest. He's
Scotland,
still there.
He's still playing for Celtic.
Wow, James
1-0.
Forrest is
I
still
remember when he
there.
was like a youngster.
young little 21-year-old.
Where did he start?
I think he started it, so he came through
Yeah,
the academy.
he-
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure,
he
but I
was
thought he'd kick
the
on and
winger,
go
right?
championship or something. Yeah, winger.
I think he's number 49 for them.
Yeah, he's been there a while, man.
No
Celtic have
goals
had some
yet.
good players come out of there. I know he was just disrespecting the Scottish football, but Tierney's come from there.
Van Dijk.
Robert.
Van Dijk was amazing out
Wanyama.
there. Dembele.
Wanyama.
Wanyama.
Yeah,
Celtic,
Wanyama was at Celtic as well. That's when they were at
Robertson?
there. Robertson. No, Robertson was at
Started off at Hearts,
Dundee
though.
United, wasn't he?
Oh, no, it was Dundee.
Dundee United,
Then
yeah.
he went to Hull.
Yeah.
Who was the guy that used to take the free kicks? He was unbelievable. I used to always sign him on FIFA.
Oh, Nakamura.
yeah.
Nakamura
He
was
was
ridiculous.
Did he score a
unbelievable.
free kick
him.
against Milan?
Football manager. Football manager. His
insane, him.
statistics.
Yeah,
Oh,
He was
Nakamura
unreal.
was
Nakamura was
disgustingly
the
good.
boy.
Yeah, yeah.
Gutted he never came to the Prem.
His
He
set
scored
pieces
against
were
United
nuts.
too, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, he
Might
was
have been that
unbelievable.
game, actually.
He was a
United.
baller.
Yeah,
was
Nakamura
amazing.
was a baller.
Yeah.
Aidan McGeady as well, Irish.
Ah,
He was a little
Don't forget
trickster.
Larson as well.
Larson,
Celtic legend.
yeah.
Barca
Larson,
legend.
Swedish
My
striker,
legend.
isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
Who else?
So,
Just
see,
reel them
it's funny because a Celtics team I knew pretty well. Like even is it Ezegiri at left back? I'm not even sure.
Oh yeah.
He was quick.
Mexican guy,
Is
wasn't
it-
Ezegiri, yeah.
He's good.
So I
He's
remember Celtics team. Craig Gordon even from Hearts. I don't
Yeah.
Yeah, he
remember.
was good.
Do you
I don't
when
remember
Gattuso
Rangers.
played for Rangers.
Gattuso.
Gattuso.
Yeah.
Paolo Di Canio played for Celtic as well. Ian Wright played for Celtic.
What?
Ian Wright played for Celtic.
Yeah, man.
Did he?
I'll look it up now.
Paolo Di Canio?
Ian
I don't
Wright,
see Rangers though.
Celtic.
I can't go as in depth with their
That
star
is mad.
players.
Told you.
Looks so weird in the green
wow.
and white, didn't he? NTL,
There you
good
go.
times.
Wow.
NTL, man. Great sponsor.
Do you know what was one of the weirdest transfers that no one speaks about? Is Cambiasso to Leicester and then leaving before he won the Premier League.
But he was good though.
He was brilliant. He kept
He
them
was
up and then he
good,
left.
yeah.
He was like, I'm not doing that again.
that
And then they
one
won the
sucks.
league.
That looks so wrong.
Ian Rush at Newcastle. I guess this comes under the category of players that you forgot played for a team.
Yeah.
And I guess Ian Rush at Newcastle is one.
Definitely
Ian
is.
Wright
Look
at
how old
Celtic.
he looks there.
I know. He looks like 45.
He looks like
and
a
he's
coach or
signing
something.
like that's the 90s.
Quick question
late
though.
90s for him.
Would Leicester have won the Premier League with Cambiasso or did they need Drinkwater and Kante in midfield?
It was a perfect combination.
Because I think they bought
Kante
Kante to replace Cambiasso, didn't they?
Would have been good to have Cambiasso as like a bench option.
Cambiasso and Kante would have been.
If only
Yeah,
Drinkwater took his own surname's advice, because he got number drink banned, didn't he?
Yeah, he,
drink beer.
Poor.
that was a lot. That was ages ago, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's still.
It's mad how his career just
Yeah,
fell
that's
off like
that
that.
came
man.
out from the Wagafa Christie case,
Yeah.
right?
That's mad how his
What
career
a
just
horrible
dropped off.
disgrace of a case that is,
Such
by the
a,
way.
such a joke.
I don't even think he's even that
Freddie
old.
Ljungberg at Celtic, that's true. Wanyama
Celtic had some
Celtic
big
to
hits.
Spurs,
Yeah.
that's true. Defoe obviously won the league at Rangers.
With Rangers,
Yeah,
Yeah,
Defoe, yeah.
And that was a nice end to his career. That he's one of my favourite
Roy Keane at
non-Liverpool
Celtic
players.
as well.
Jermaine Defoe,
Yeah,
actually.
Roy Keane
Roy
at Celtic, yeah.
Charlie Adam for Rangers.
Yeah, Charlie Adam.
Aidan McGeady was good
do you
at
remember-
Celtic as well.
Nacho Novak. What was his name?
Nacho Novo.
Nacho Novak.
Nacho
He was
Novo,
good.
yeah.
He was
For
good.
Rangers.
He was
Yeah.
good.
Back in the day.
He was good.
Some of those games were crazy, man. In the
Gaza
early-
went to Rangers.
Gaza. Yeah.
Mad.
It was amazing for Rangers. Ali McCoy scored like 300 goals for Rangers. Do you know what? Funnily enough, in the whole of Europe, obviously not the top 5 leagues, but do you know who the 2 clubs are with over 50 league titles
Who?
in Europe?
Celtic.
Celtic and Real Madrid.
Celtic is one of them, no?
Celtic and Juventus.
Rangers and Olympiacos.
Oh, wow.
Oh. Rangers have 50 league titles.
55.
I swear Celtic have more league titles than Rangers.
I know, they don't.
That makes sense. Though. Both
No,
of
they
them have
don't.
had chokehold of.
Rangers have 55 leagues.
Are you sure? I swear Celtic are more successful than Rangers. I know
I
Celtic
don't
have a cha- I know Celtic have a
that checks out.
European
I
Cup.
think Rangers are more successful. Celtic have been
Record 55
recently
times.
more successful, but I think Rangers are more successful.
I think it's just because Rangers
Overall.
fell off for a good 10,
Yeah, yeah.
15 years, didn't they?
Celtic
So
have been
Because I remember
recently
Celtic won
successful.
like 9 in a row, didn't they?
Yeah, Celtics have been recently successful, but I think overall, I think it's
52.
Rangers.
Catching.
So three clubs, 52. But Olympiacos have won it the most, I think. So
Celtic have got a Champions League, I
Who's
think.
Olympiacos'
do.
competition?
Of
AK
course,
Athens.
of course. Yeah. Panathinaikos.
Oh yeah,
Panathinaikos
they were
are a
decent
problem.
back in
I'm
the
telling
day.
you,
We beat them
Panathinaikos
in
are a
the
problem.
quarterfinal.
Do you remember
Champions League.
Kolo Touré played for Celtic as well, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
he did.
Yeah, he
Great
went
shout.
there. Yeah.
Honestly, great shout.
Bloody hell.
I'm trying to think of a few more Liverpool
I wouldn't
players.
mind making
John
this.
Barnes was the manager there.
Where?
Where's that Celtic?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. John Barnes. Watch. John Barnes, Celtic. I think he was there with Jason McAteer. That's like seriously. I'm not
That's a
lying, man.
throwback. McAteer.
Let's have a look.
That's mad.
Let's get it up if I can. But yeah, unbelievable. Let us know if you have some more of those, by the way. This teams managed Celtic 99 to 2000. There
Wolfsburg
you
winning
go.
against Mönchengladbach. I don't know if you guys have checked out the German league. It's actually competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Union Berlin.
Union
Yeah.
Berlin.
Yeah, Union Berlin. What is it? The capital city.
Yeah.
Rising finally. Yeah, it's mad, man.
And there's a few
They're like the
highest score.
highest scoring league, I think, as well so far this season. German league.
Yeah, Union Berlin at the top, Freiburg,
Yeah.
Mönchengladbach,
What's going on to Bayern and
Hoffenheim.
Dortmund? Like 50?
Bayern and
Dortmund are
Dortmund
doing what
fifth
they
and
usually
sixth.
do.
Yeah, Dortmund.
This is normal for Dortmund, but
Nagelsmann's getting a lot of stick.
Bayern 1 win in 5.
Yeah.
Who's the manager now?
Nagelsmann.
What?
And remember their poor
Go
show.
on, the Premier League. It's not the Premier League. It's now the Championship. It used to be Premier League last year. Burnley 1, Swansea 0.
Company.
Vincent Kompany's Clarets 1-0.
Get a goal scorer there.
Please be Ian Matson.
Victor Alexander
De
De Silva.
Nice. Well, there you go. Burnley fans, if you're watching this, there you go. 1-0 up against Swansea. Leverkusen in 13th in the
They're
table. In
They are- yeah, dreadful.
Moussa Diaby.
Well, obviously,
I watched them. I watched them midweek. Yeah, Xabi Alonso. I watched them midweek. They were.
4-0.
Yeah, they won 4-0 last week, but then lost 3-0.
Then they
in
lost
the
3-0 to
Championship.
Porto.
Champions League.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really that's not.
Away at
Shameful
Frankfurt
loss.
But
today,
their group in the Champions League is actually probably the most even group You know, you got who is in there? Porto's in there.
Yeah.
Who else is in there?
Bruges,
Who's top of
maybe?
that group? Club Bruges and Atletico Madrid.
Madrid.
Yeah, and Club Bruges is top.
Yeah,
They beat
they're
Atletico.
qualified,
I think they're going to qualify.
Atletico.
That's Simon Mignolet goal.
Wow.
Who would have thought it?
What, at
Who
Club
would have
Bruges?
thought it, Yeah.
Yeah. Club Bruges are doing really well.
Redemption.
Belgium League.
Another goal for Blackburn away to Middlesbrough, 2-0 up now, thanks to Sam Gallagher.
Dennis the Great says Nagelsmann is a bum. He's ruining Bayern.
He also got knocked out to Villarreal last season in Champions League, so he's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, he is.
Quarter-final.
I mean, I wouldn't. Bum is harsh, but he is actually not doing well at Bayern. Don't know about ruining because he's got players like Sane playing a lot better than he was playing last season.
There you go. Sevilla are going to be relegated from La Liga, ENK. If you want to know more about your European leagues, then we do have the European show all around Europe, which is on Mondays at 6. I'll be presenting that on Monday. We'll have Raul and Nico as well.
Is that in Spanish or?
Well, it's all around the leagues,
Mix?
isn't it? So, yeah, we'll
Sevilla
do
been Spanish,
Germany,
yeah.
France, Spain.
Do you speak
Italy.
Italian? French?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I know
nice.
a tiny bit of Italian. I can read it, but I know a little tiny bit. Mio fratello, my brother.
Oh,
Okay.
Nice.
Well, there you go.
Buongiorno.
Woodgate at Real Madrid. That's the one, isn't it? Remember
obscure.
Woodgate at Real
Yeah.
Madrid? Had the worst debut
Same
of
from
all
Newcastle.
time.
Shocking
Yeah.
debut.
Own goal and red card, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And he was a sub, wasn't he?
Yeah. Stinker.
Shocker. That was that period where they had like Woodgate, Owen, Beckham.
Little England quartet there going on, isn't it?
Well, it can't be a quartet if there's only 3.
There was one more, wasn't
But,
there?
well, who was that?
Right there.
Who?
Exactly.
Who you
Right
missing?
there. He's missing one.
Who?
Won the English Championship.
Well, Thomas Gravison.
There you go.
Thomas Gravison, he was a decent player, also from Celtic as well, Denmark.
True.
Yeah, he was proper.
Chris Sutton, Celtic and Chelsea as well.
Yeah, Chris Sutton.
Larson,
I think we spent like
Hartson.
7.5 million
Hartson as well.
on him. He barely scored any goals though. I had to go on BBC 5 Live and cuss him out.
I did that with Clinton Morrison once.
I love it, you know.
Out.
Robbie Savage is obviously on there. He always gets cussed. And apparently he's got a tattoo of my middle name on his back.
Who?
Robbie Savage.
What's the story right now?
I don't know.
You can't just leave us there. You got to tell us the whole story now.
don't know.
So hang
It's
on.
so random.
Robbie Savage has a tattoo
Of Armani on his back apparently. Somewhere.
That's weird.
How do you spell your middle name? Like the actual Armani?
A-R-M-A. Yeah,
Emporio.
Armani. Yeah.
Like Giorgio and Emporio.
Yeah.
So your parents
Why has he
obviously-
got an
I don't know.
Is that like the logo or the brand or?
No,
is it
I
you?
think I don't know.
Robbie Savage, if you're watching, mate, let us know why you have a tattoo of Matisse on your backside. Right, 2-0 to Celtic now. They've doubled their lead. We're talking about Celtic a lot right now.
2-0.
They've gone 2-0 up at home, and it's Giacomakis, sorry.
He's Greek.
On the 18th minute. Yep, I can
Definitely
tell.
Greek. Do you remember when
100%.
Giannakopoulos at Bolton
Yes.
could never say his name
I
properly?
hated him.
Giannakopoulos.
Stelios
Yeah.
Giannakopoulos.
Stelios, yeah.
I hated him because he always used to do dirt against Arsenal. Everyone in Bolton did dirt against Arsenal.
Kevin Davies.
There was a while I hated Bolton.
Kevin Nolan.
Bogey team, for
Little,
sure, yeah.
I love it. Little chicken pox, chicken celebration. That's chicken pox. Chicken pox.
Julio Baptista at Arsenal as well. And then a couple more. Let's get into the super chats. And big up to Swagger Swaggy, who says, come on, Chelsea will win everything. Liverpool are finished.
Oh, well, unfortunate for you.
Nothing to do with me, mate. I was just reading it out. Mane back to Liverpool next season, says Dan Carts. Probably not, mate, if I'm honest. He wanted to leave, so that's pretty much it. That's how Klopp
He
does
is
business.
gone.
He doesn't
He's
let
like
you
an
back
ex.
once you've gone.
They are gone. Get over it.
That is true. Speaking of Liverpool, in the Champions League this week, we saw the quickest ever hat-trick, 5 minutes, 12 seconds. The ball was actually in play during that 5 minutes and 12 seconds for 2 minutes 36. So that's how quick it took whilst the ball was in movement for Salah to score that hat-trick. Can
That's
you name
insane.
a couple of things, guys, and this is our first big topic of the day, that you can do in less than 5 minutes?
You laughed and it made me laugh.
Sick
Sorry.
minds. Probably true, but sick minds. But let us know in the comments. What can you do in less than 5 minutes, or quicker than how quick Mo Salah scored
I just
that
laughed
hat-trick?
because I knew one of the comments were already gonna say something.
Well, listen. Keep it clean, boys. Like you must have something. I mean, what can you do in less than 5 minutes? Take the bins out.
Well,
Yeah, take bins out.
No worries.
100%.
Recycle and normal bins.
Reuse, yeah,
About
reuse,
Brush your
recycle.
teeth.
Yeah,
Well, you should be doing that within 5 minutes.
yeah,
2 or 3 most, I'd say, for that.
100%.
Use the toilet.
Depends. I mean, I'm
I'm not reading that one out, Yasin, you dirty man. Not going to say it. I prefer not to speak. says Max
Equaliser
L.
for Fulham.
Thank God for that.
Issa Diop
Oh, it's former
has
West Ham.
levelled Fulham up at Craven Cottage against Bournemouth. 1-1 there.
Paul Tierney can make a cuppa / tea or coffee in under 5 minutes.
I'd say
Not reading
probably
that if you want out either.
track a Martinelli run maybe as well.
Fantastic. Such a hater.
Big up to Jatsiwi, who says things in 5 minutes or less. Stack away the trophy cabinet at Tottenham.
yeah, that's a 1 minute job.
Have anybody seen the images of that trophy cabinet? It's really bad. Like it's a massive room, and it's a massive room, and then there's just like little tables just dotted around the room randomly of little cups, Audi cups and Carling cups, but the space is huge. There's just so much space. Clearly they've got make an omelette.
5 minutes.
Oh.
That's a good shout.
Yeah.
Actually, do you know what? It's a great meal to make sometimes if you.
I was expecting more comedians in there. I'm not gonna lie. I expected some more
from home to
left field ones.
to my gym.
Yeah.
Less than 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
Tell the comments.
Turn on your jet ski.
Still waiting for the jet ski. Still waiting for that jet ski.
Story about this? Have we said this on air?
Did I know, have we?
I don't think we have.
Forgot, mate. I think it was
your story. You tell us.
bought a jet ski. But I may be pulling out of it. The jet ski, that is.
Oh, right.
Because yeah,
Taking too long.
Make me come up from Birmingham. Been waiting months now.
Yeah.
What's the point? It's freezing.
What made you buy it? Why would you buy a jet ski?
The heat of the summer when
It was the heat of the summer, right, where I live now by the river. I've seen two lads going up and down the River Tyne on a jet ski. I've waved them down. I've seen two lads flying down the River Tyne on a jet ski. So then I asked them where the bird from. Went and bought a jet ski. Still waiting for the jet ski. How much is it?
£8 you spent on a jet ski and you haven't got it yet. And you haven't £8 you spent on a jet ski.
Or cash, it was it's like, you know,
installments.
Finance thing.
Pepe, Nicholas.
So, but paid the deposit, paid that, but I'm just gonna probably not get it now.
How much was the deposit?
I mean, the move, the moment's kind of gone.
It has.
It's the winter now.
What are you going to do? Use the jet ski now?
in December.
I just wanted it for
when it's snowing in Newcastle, you just see Matty on a jet ski.
Real cold up there, boy.
Just wanted a real life GTA loading screen. Do you know what I mean? I was just kind of get it now.
That was one of like the impulsive moments there.
I was probably pissed when I did it. Like, but
can you imagine people in Newcastle on jet skis?
No.
It just doesn't make any sense.
It's
so odd.
I've never heard of anything like it.
It's the new
Can you
Bay
imagine
City,
somebody on the Thames?
If it was Miami, I'd think, yeah, fair enough.
Can you imagine getting a jet ski and going down the River Thames?
It's absolutely freezing, man.
Jesus.
Climate change is good, man. We had a good summer.
Put some like wheels on it.
What, change a quad bike?
Quad bike? Golf buggy.
Golf buggy's a good idea. I could do with one of them, eh?
And then, you know,
can just
drive
imagine.
into water and then you're set.
Yeah.
Maybe that's an idea.
Yeah.
2 for 1. Let's know in the
We'll
comments
think about that, eh?
about Matt's jet ski. Keep coming for things you can do in less than 5 minutes. 8k for a jet ski to go up and down the time, says Motasir Ali.
Bargain, if anything.
Yeah. Absolutely. Become Chancellor of the Exchequer and get sacked in 5 minutes, says Jonathan Porter. A political gag. Not that we do politics on DR Sports, but I appreciate it nonetheless. Is Wenger the audio engineer? Bit harsh on Wenger, to be honest. He's much better at audio than the Muppets in that studio controlling this stream. No, I'm joking. The audio's back now. I believe it is. It's back, which is great. And they're great guys, actually. I can run half a mile in less than 5 minutes.
Fucking better walk the stairs and
that's
find
about right. Half a mile in less than 5?
Is it? Yeah.
Goal! No,
I'd say so.
I've lied.
You were right. I mean, West Brom sacked Steve Bruce and now they're winning games. That's what happens. 1-0 away to Reading.
Do you know what it was? Yeah,
He's been
Fulham
around for
Bournemouth
ages.
popped up. I was like, oh wow, but no, it's not. It's
Matt Phillips
West Brom.
is still playing for West Brom.
There he is, Matt Phillips, yeah.
Is that the Matt Phillips that plays out wide?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one
Blackpool.
that scores like
Yep.
scored
Blackpool,
like scream.
That Blackpool team,
screamers.
we have to speak about it. Under Ian Holloway.
Tangerine
what a
Dream.
What a year that
Charlie
was. I
Adam.
know they still got relegated, but it was such a ride.
DJ Campbell.
Yep, DJ Campbell
Fraser
up
Campbell.
front. Fraser Campbell.
Fraser Campbell it was. Not
Was it not both?
both.
Both. It was both.
both. It was both.
Yeah,
Both.
both
Yeah.
Campbells. Yeah.
Campbell Villas.
Charlie Adams whacking him in from range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Do you know what,
like
though?
they least
Baptiste
alive.
at the back.
Yeah, they didn't even try and
Baptiste.
defend. They just literally just was there to
They
have
were
fun.
vibes.
Played football.
Yeah.
It was just
Never
vibes.
mind the players. It was all about Holloway.
Holloway,
Like,
yeah, that's what I was
them
about to say.
interviews
These
were amazing,
interviews,
weren't they?
yeah.
Oh,
Class,
mate,
man.
one of his interviews.
About pulling the 10 in the club.
No, about the guinea pig, the gerbil.
Oh, yeah,
Remember that
yeah,
one?
yeah.
They're about to play United, and this is the time when Ronaldo's just on fire. And he said, the only thing, Ronaldo's so good looking, athletic, scores all these goals. I hope he's hung like a gerbil.
Aye.
And then he said, but my missus has just got a gerbil, and he's got a big one on him. So, well, he said it, not me. It's not my joke. So, it is what it is. But I'll never forget Fergie in that period because he said, Charlie Adams' corners alone are worth 10 mil. There's no doubt about it. And then we spent
Liverpool bought
10
him.
mil on him, and his corners were shite for Liverpool. They really were.
It was awful.
He
Not
had
great.
some decent spells for Liverpool, no?
He scored a couple, but do you know what? Technically on the ball, one of the best.
Really good, yeah.
Crouchy said best left foot he's ever played with in his career. So he could just put it anywhere. It was just the fitness.
Yeah.
I think I read in Craig
Too many
Bellamy's
kebabs.
book that he was
Yeah.
in one night before a game, he was smoking, eating McDonald's and drinking loads in the hotel room, all in the same kind of night. So
That
And then,
midfield,
and then had a game the next day.
yeah,
Not surprising.
that
Like,
midfield that you
Europa
had,
League next
you had
day.
like, what
Did he
was it?
perform?
Adam, Spearing and Shelby.
Stuart Downing.
Gerrard was in.
That was the
that
English
season.
influx of players that Liverpool had.
Yeah.
there.
Scottish, Charlie
Under
Adams, to be
Dalglish,
fair.
right?
Yeah, well, yeah,
Shaka.
British. Just
Shaka.
British.
But then
British.
Henderson turned out to be the good buy.
Yeah, Henderson.
Stuart Downing came that summer.
Andy Carroll, you had as well up top.
Shocking
Andy
signing.
Carroll.
Andy Carroll's
Mate,
signing.
actually had your pants down there, didn't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
yours, but
Well, I think he's had your pants down because he sold you
Mine?
a jet ski, didn't
he didn't. I wouldn't buy it off him.
he? Sounds like a kind of deal.
Well,
he
You
would
wouldn't
do.
buy it off Andy Carroll, no?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tom
Andy
Ince
Ca- no,
plays
mate, actually-
played for Blackpool as well. Watching United beat Liverpool. Well, this is another super chat, and obviously I did ask that question, what can you do in less than 5 minutes? Goku 3000 says, watching United beating Liverpool for 5 minutes. I guess that is a valid one.
Well,
Thank
you love conceding early. Oh, another goal in the Premier League.
Oh, what a game this
Come
is
on.
at Craven Cottage.
Let's go, Bournemouth.
In the first 25 minutes, Bournemouth 2-1 up now. Away at Fulham, and it's Jefferson, Lerma.
Jeffrey.
Prediction still good, boys?
Mine's looking perfect.
Same, actually.
Can we just blow the whistle now?
What did you say for this one?
I didn't get it in time.
What is? I mean, we're not giving you that. What was the Wolves Forest one?
2-1 to Wolves.
There we go. Still no goals.
Still
in that
no
game.
goals in that
At
game.
Molineux. Not that there is often goals at Molineux.
Nah, there isn't.
They're
Like,
drying up.
They have dried up. Very much so. Absolutely. No goals there.
Unless
I thought
it's a
Studio
Neves
was just about to
screamer.
fall
Still
down
waiting
there.
for Diego
Oh,
Costa
nice.
to show his true form.
Yep. AGT, how about Ian Holloway, man? Love for Harry Redknapp. Yep. Another
Harry
legend.
Redknapp, nice guy.
Really is.
Wheeler dealer. Remember when he got angry about that?
Yeah, he didn't like that one, did he?
Well, football
Did you hear his story? I'm guessing you have on Benjani.
Yes.
Aye,
Wait,
brilliant.
what?
Sorry.
Quality Harry
I
Redknapp
like
story on
Benjani.
Benjani.
What did he say?
He was selling him to who was he selling? Man City,
Yeah.
and Man City bid 9.5 million, and he was saying that's a lot of money for Benjani, and he was saying, you
At
know,
the time, yeah.
at the time, and he was like, listen, Benji, you gotta go Man City, and he's like, no, I like it here, I want to stay, I love it, I feel at home. No, Benji, you gotta go, go Benji, and then put him in the airport. Benji missed one flight. And Benji missed the second flight, and then he was like, "No, Benji, you need to get on last flight." And then he was just explaining that Man City was stupid enough under Ericsson, obviously former England manager, is it?
Yeah.
to pay
Sven
pay
Goran
9.5 million for Benji. He was delighted with it, but it's just how he was just so clear cut about it. He just didn't give a shit. He was just
Yeah.
like, "Bro, that was
I'm
9.5
staying.
million. Get out,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
get out the
Yep.
club."
Yep.
Another goal for Burnley. Jay Rodriguez still putting them in the back of the net. Matty.
Wow.
Wow,
Rodriguez, Fitness.
Do you know
been
what
his
I like
problem in the
about
past,
Burnley?
but he's doing well now.
That's the second name now where it started off very British and then it's just spiraled off into something flamboyant. It's gone from J. Alexander something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and
Victor something. and
Victor
then-
something, and
yeah.
now it's J. Rodriguez. Sorry, so yeah.
Interesting name.
Burnley, though, with
Burnley are
Bellamy,
starting to become more flamboyant as a team.
Craig Bellamy and company as the coach
Yeah.
and manager. Is a mad little combination.
Craig
It's
Bellamy.
working.
Because there was a
Hey,
mad
he's
stat
just a coach.
about how many the most passes they ever did in a game in all of what's his name, Sean Dyche's tenure, and like company broke that in like one match. It's crazy.
Did he? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's actually trying to play football now, isn't it?
Daesh
Not just
master.
a lump it, slump
Sheffield United 2, Blackpool 1. Jerry Yates, as we were just talking about the Oranges. Is that their name?
Tangerines.
Tangerines, isn't it? Or Satsumas?
Tangerines.
Probably not. But they're 2-1 down away at Sheffield United, who are right up at the top of the Championship. There's so little between the top 7 clubs. I think it's 2 or 3 points between 1st and 7th place in the Championship. Is there an argument to say, and we have debated this on the show before, that the Championship is one of the hardest leagues in world football?
Facts.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want
I think so.
to go down
Easily one of the hardest.
But once you're down there, you don't know if you can come straight back up.
Exactly.
It's a proper...
Especially Norwich.
Sometimes people are getting back-to-back relegations. But
Norwich are second, aren't they? They're forever coming up and down.
firmly experienced in the task of getting out of the Championship. They are. Do you know what I mean? We used to have those yo-yo teams, Sunderland, West Brom and Birmingham were the 3 for me.
Yeah.
They was up and down constantly.
West Brom.
Yeah, West Brom, big
Fulham
time.
have become
Fulham have become that, yeah.
You
But
do see teams get stuck there for decades, really. Like Forest.
yeah, no, 100%.
Leeds.
It's a minefield, it really is.
Middlesbrough.
Absolutely.
Will we get onto our Clásico predictions as well? Because that's tomorrow.
Yes.
Big game. It's
Massive
going under the
game.
radar a little bit, our Clásico, because it's
Bad
sandwiched by other Premier League fixtures like, Liverpool, Man City is literally kicking off, an hour afterwards, something like
The
that.
timing is a 3:15 kickoff in Madrid for El Clásico,
So
and then a
dumb.
4:30
Silly.
kickoff.
Should have been at 8 o'clock.
Liverpool.
Should have, yeah.
They're
Yeah, would've
always
been
evening match. Like,
all
that's
eyes.
so stupid.
But and this game's a big game because they're both top of the table, joint.
22 points.
But you know why La Liga did that?
unbeaten.
Because is it Javier Tebas that he's got this weird inferiority complex with the Premier League. He's always trying to make La Liga compete. It's like just accept that the Premier League is bigger.
This is doing the opposite.
Yeah.
No, but
Proving that
exactly.
if you put them on at the same time,
Yeah.
It's
you're
so dumb.
You can
shooting
lose.
yourself in the foot.
So dumb.
100%.
Should have put on at 3 o'clock today.
Yeah,
There's only 2 games on the Premier League.
Yeah, 100%.
We would have had it on.
yeah, facts.
That's for
100%.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, as you mentioned, both top of the league, very similar goal difference. They've both
Unbeaten, aren't they?
Yeah.
so far, which doesn't really tell the full story though, because in
Yeah.
Europe they've both been. It's difficult to say that Real Madrid have been struggling. They obviously drew at Shakhtar the other night, but Barca have been struggling. We did a massive preview. If you haven't seen it already, go after this video to DR Sports, the rest of the videos, and you can see myself with Raul and Nico. We actually have a clip of that now to show you what they think the score is going to be tomorrow. This was a great video. Make sure you watch the whole thing after. But here's a little clip for you now.
But it's true. Xavi was amazing player, but not amazing mister. How is the experience in the Xavi? Can you tell me?
Yeah, it's not been good.
Which is one?
It's not been good. Last year,
Sorry. I don't understand as well your mentality. I would like to know because you say yes, we start one amazing season. Come on, Nico. This is not how I start. It's how you finish. You 4-0, 2 goals for Lewandowski with Elche, the last position in La Liga. 3-0, I think, with Valladolid.
we're
2-0,
leaders.
2-0.
We're leaders.
Exactly.
We're in
leader.
front of you.
Exactly.
We're top of the league.
Exactly. But no, this is not the mentality, Nico. This is not the mentality. For us, this game is true, Nico. For us, this game is just 3 points.
Oh, come on, man.
Listen,
Yeah.
did you see the stat? If we lose in the Bernabeu, maybe we will win the Champions League.
Wow, Jesus.
Tell you what, that was a feisty episode. Fighting talk from Raul.
Doesn't let up.
That game is
I don't
just
blame
another
him.
3 points.
I mean, Real Madrid. This is as a fan of that club. It's hard not to have the biggest ego ever.
Yeah.
I mean, they just won the Champions League again. I remember when they did the
Against Liverpool
3 times
again.
in a row, and they weren't even celebrating the 3rd time. They were just walking around with it like it was some little Audi Cup. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's mad, man. And they won the league last year, didn't they? And Barcelona have been in. I'm here for Barcelona's downfall because they absolutely ruined our transfer window. They went after every single player we wanted, and they've managed to fugazi their way out of getting out of financial struggles. And now
I think that's called corruption.
Pulling financial levers.
Hey, I'm not here to kind of I'm not here to make any accusations. I'm just saying fugazi, and then
Super weird.
Then they end up hopefully playing in the Europa League again for back-to-back seasons. So I'm here for it.
Yeah,
100%.
same. They're gonna lose.
You said, and also in the video, Nico said the Bernabeu is Barca's playground. Do you agree with that?
No.
Messi's playground, I think he said.
Yeah, Messi's playground,
They did
but
win
not
their
Barca.
They did have a
last
big
year,
batter
though.
in there last year, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they did, but
Messi's finished school now, though, so that means he's not there anymore. Can't go to the playground.
they did.
Who else is going to play there?
They did,
Real
but
Madrid.
you can't. The two teams. I hear what he's saying. Like it's not even a competition between the two anymore. Barca have just fallen all the way off. I can't see. Like I'll be shocked if Real Madrid lose. I will be.
I think it'll be a draw.
Nah,
think
Real
so?
Madrid are going to beat him.
Do you know what? He could go either way, you know, because Barcelona could just step up, especially after what happened in the Champions League midweek. They need to respond. There's no better way to do it. There was some rumours about Xavi's potential job as well being under threat, but then they came out and backed him. But then obviously Tuchel is available, so there could be a little bit of a,
You could see that,
thing
couldn't you?
there.
You
So
could see
yeah,
that.
you need to be
You could
careful.
see that.
So it wouldn't. I think they need to respond, Barca, because their Champions League campaign is tough. I know they're in the group of death, but still.
Yeah, no, it's going to be an incredible game, and we've got it for you on DR Sports tomorrow. Raul and Nico will be watching that for us. Here's Nico with a little bit more on Barcelona.
True that you got more Champions League. Very nice. I probably even envy
more
you.
Clásico.
I probably envy
99 wins in El Clásico, 96 for Barcelona in total.
Yeah, but let's see.
Official-
What kind of
official
wins?
matches.
What kind of wins are we talking about? Because every time I remember Bernabeu, since I was born, it was 2-6, 5-0, 4-0,
Yeah, it's so true.
3-2 the other day with Messi showing the T-shirt to everyone.
it's true.
Come on, man. Like it's okay. You have more Clásico wins, 99 wins. What was that? 1920s? That's fine. You can take it. You can take it.
Di Stefano.
You can take it. But still,
Quinta Lutre.
who remembers the nice wins in Bernabeu? 2-6 because scoring that last goal. That's what when we step up. And yes, I agree. I completely agree with you about the respect. And like I was saying, yes, you got more Champions League. I envy you for that. But I think every team envy us for the football that we have played. And like the 6 titles when we had Pep Guardiola, we played an amazing football. We won every single game. I was in Camp Nou and every half time was 4-0, 3-0. And even people say it's boring.
Oof, I tell you what, that was really face-to-face stuff. Raul can obviously, as we all know, as a friend of the channel, he gives his opinion, certainly.
Certainly
Some would
does.
call him arrogant, but in that clip, you've just seen Nico putting him back in his
Tries
place.
to.
Yeah.
Makes him
Giving a bit of his own medicine there, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, it'll be interesting because once you spend that type of money that they did in the window and bring in all those players, the pressure has to come on.
I still don't know how they
Has
do it.
to. I don't know, but the pressure has to come on for Xavi in terms of delivering the goods because they don't bring in Rafinha, tie up Dembele, Lewandowski's there, you know, Kunde, Christensen's up. They brought in a lot of players, so they got to deliver the goods. They got to try and dethrone Real Madrid in that title race.
Bailey saying Real Madrid will always be bigger than Barca. It's just a fact. Always has been.
It's a fox.
It's a fact. Goonie saying deluded Barca fan. Real has more Champions League and La Ligas. And Ancelotti is the greatest manager of all time, according to Dale Wilson II.
Where does Ancelotti rank though? Because he's got to get his respect,
He's gotta be
doesn't
up
he?
there, yeah.
He's
He's
won
up
the
there.
Champions League for Milan. He's won it for Real Madrid. Bayern Munich, he's managed there. He's managing PSG. He's managed Chelsea. He's won
right up there,
everywhere.
mate. He's
He's
right up
definitely
there.
up there.
Pedigree's close to being untouchable, really, isn't he?
Really?
Pedigree
It is.
if
I-
you could build a perfect CV of how a football manager's career should go across
Yeah.
40 years,
Yeah.
30 years.
Even
Pick
Everton.
his-
Even
Wow,
Everton.
that was a blot on his
Yeah,
career.
I really wish he didn't go there,
But he
man.
I don't
was
know why he
the
went there.
first
Rafa,
Everton
really.
manager to win at Anfield for 20 years. There was no fans in
No
the
fans,
stadium.
no,
But,
no.
yeah. But his top 5 definitely says what the football. You mentioned Barcelona's defence. They've only just conceded 1 goal in La Liga this season. But they have 5 injuries in the back. Apparently, Kunde might be back. They're talking about that. But are
Christensen
Barca
injured?
as big as a mess as what people are talking about? We mentioned in that preview that if this doesn't go well for Xavi, his job's under threat. But do you think, yes, they're struggling in Europe massively, but this season could still turn out to be a decent one in the rebuild of Barca?
It could. It's more. I think they always have very, very high expectations for Barcelona. I think their board and their fans are pretty much delusional because if you actually look at Barcelona's performance and the stupid transfer decisions they've made the past 3 years, what Barcelona are doing now, that Barca fans should be like excited over the moon. They should even be happy to be in a title race. So I think this is pretty much their level now. I'm going to expect them to go to Bernabeu tomorrow and lose. I don't think this is. If they lose, it's no shame. It's like you've been a trash team the past 3. Like they've actually been terrible. So for you to be in the title equation, see that as a success.
I mentioned in the preview yesterday, Matty, that the respect levels for a team like Barcelona from a neutral have gone from right up here, right down here now because of the mess financially at the club, the backhand dealings, etc., the treatment of players, not paying wages. Would you agree with that?
I think so. You lose respect, don't you? For me, I liked Barcelona growing up, visited there as a city, liked the way they used to play football back in the day, obviously. But for me now, it's a shadow of it for myself, that club. And I think that how do you get away with the way they've been run? How is there no punishment there? How is there no sanctions? Obviously, they just magic some ridiculous sponsor money out of nowhere, and Drake starts playing his music at the new camp and everything's all right. Like, what's all that about? How can you get away with stuff when you just blast? When you just blast now Drake at the Spotify new camp, everything's all right. We'll just sign another player. I don't get it. Doesn't make sense to me.
I mean, they're selling parts of their club to do this, aren't they? You know, they've sold their TV rights percentage by percentage by percentage.
Yes.
They've sold parts of their. I think they've sold BLM. So I don't know how they managed to sell a whole movement. That's mad. I had to get that in there. But they have sold BLM. I don't know what I can't remember what that stands for, but it's something within their club that they've sold.
Not Black Lives Matter.
But yeah, man, it's just it's just mad. It's just nuts, man. What they've been able to do in terms of the transfer market is insane. And it's for me, it's all predicated on
because of Chelsea. That I like about their.
But surely it's predicated on success, right? They're buying in bulk to say that we're going to sell it all in terms of success. But if they don't, if they don't get that success, then where does that lead them? I don't know. So
I've never liked them, to be honest.
I did Ronaldinho, man.
I've liked their plays, but I never liked them because they're quite a pretentious club. They pose themselves as more than a club. We're more traditional family values than Real Madrid
as well.
Yeah, but they're at least Real Madrid say we are a money club, we are Galacticos. They're upfront with it. Barcelona, the exact same thing, but they paint it behind. We got La Masia. You're the same thing, and you've got a terrible transfer strategy. Real Madrid have a way better transfer strategy than you. Just stop being fake. So I've never liked them.
Nico, do you hear that?
Wow.
Tosin saying stop being fake.
I think when you don't pay your players wages, that's where it starts to become.
I actually questioned Nico on this yesterday, and I said, listen, give me a number. How much money do they owe PK and Frankie de Jong? Because we should know. And he said, I think it's 115 to Frankie. And PK's up there as well. And, I mean, he's the 5th choice defender now at Barca. And he's owed at least 80, I think.
That's such a joke.
So I don't even know how you get to that point.
I mean, after 50, you'd be like, hang on, mate, am I getting this dough or what?
It's like him with his jet ski. Like, at some point, you got to
be jet ski. I can relate.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. If I was Frankie de Jong, I know obviously Barca, I would have left. It's like, this is weird. Your club is treating you this way. They're willing to sell you, they're just waiting for a club to bring, and you're happy to stay there.
He wants his money, though. Would you leave if someone owed you 150 million? Are you moving?
You're not, bro.
Nah.
No,
I'm not. But what they trying to negotiate with Man United?
I'm smashing up offices.
Where Man United had to pay the wages as well.
That's why no one took him.
Listen,
they said, I ain't paying that. Yeah. Pay him off and then we'll buy him.
He should be smashing Laporta's office up. I'm telling you, he should be in there smashing the place up. Where's my money? Because what's mad is they've taken his money that they owe him and they've spent it on other players. To the new guys. It's not like when someone owes you money, like your
and
friend.
Then you see them buying trainers.
Yeah,
and you're like, hang on,
if your friend,
you owe me $2 bills,
if your friend owes you money, but you can see that they're ordering pot noodles off Amazon, it's fine. You can see that you don't have any money, you're eating pot noodles. But if you're buying strawberries,
or if you see them on holiday,
I mean,
Instagram story.
Do you forget about that if the team's successful though? If he's now part of a Champions League winning team, which they're obviously not going to be, and he has this crazy amount of glittering success, do you just forget about that?
He's still owing money, 100%.
And I think Barca fans are aware of the fact that their reputation within the football community has plummeted because, again, it's come from us seeing these amazing teams, these players, but now it's just in tatters, the reputation.
It's a mess.
And do you know what? I'm actually with you. I want them to be in Europa League. And if they get out of that, go to the conference.
Same.
If you get out
keep
of
going
that,
down.
Rot. That's a bit harsh. Standout players for both teams, do you reckon, tomorrow? Give me 2 each.
Pedri for Barcelona, Pedri and Dembele.
Okay.
Pedri.
Dembele's stocks have definitely risen since he started off there.
Yeah.
He stayed. In that kind of Griezmann, Coutinho era, he's the man that stayed there.
Yeah, I mean, because his quality for me has never been in doubt. It's just his fitness. And I think, obviously, he's gone full full on practicing Muslim now. So he's got a wife now. He's not doing the stuff he used to do, like play PlayStation up till late the night before a match. So I'm happy for him. I think he's definitely Barcelona's danger man offensively.
2 for Real.
That's tough. Real Madrid. It's weird. I can't see a standout player for Real Madrid this season. It's weird.
Valverde.
Yeah, I think Valverde.
Yeah, he's been good actually. He's been good. Federico.
I think Tchouameni's been great as well.
Tchouameni.
Yeah.
I like him. We bid 50 mil for him.
Yeah.
Well, how much did you go for in the end?
80.
100, I think.
Yeah.
100 million euros, 80 million pounds.
Probably
We had 50
Valverde,
there.
and if he starts, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo,
chips in
yeah.
the
I like
goals.
Rodrigo.
I like Rodrigo. Like very, very underrated.
He had a great campaign last year in the Champions League coming off the bench. Serious super sub.
Really good
Yeah.
player.
Did it
And
to
Chelsea,
us.
yeah.
And Chelsea,
Really
yeah,
good
he
player.
was unbelievable.
Vinny Jr. and Fede Valverde says KGSJ7. Vinicius Brace says Dale.
Yeah.
Vinny and Chouameni says Romeo Alpha. Big up to you guys for getting involved. PK is going to stand out, but not in a good way, says Mr. X. Dembele is on fire, says Romeo Alpha. Going back down the years, what do you think's been your favourite El Clasico moment back in the day? I'll give you my one to start. It's probably when I think Barca went there and won 4-1, and Ronaldinho had such a good game that they clapped him off the pitch.
Yeah.
That was great. I'm gonna go. That's a great game, but the 3-3 at the new camp.
Yes, the
When
arrival of Messi.
What
Hat-trick.
a game! It was
0-6-7?
Yeah. It wasn't even just a hat trick. It was a really great game of football. So I have to go with the 3-3 at the new camp.
Half times are coming in now. Wolves Forest is still 0-0, to no surprise, with Wolves not being able to score goals this season. Good goal in the Championship as well for Wigan, 1-0 up away to Sunderland.
Yeah, massive.
But the thing about that is that Charlie Wake scored. Good to see Charlie Wake score. Obviously, he recovered from a cardiac arrest
Oh, nice.
during the
up to him,
summer.
man.
Charlie Wake, and he scored the goal for Wigan at Stadium of Light.
Favourite Clásico moment?
I'd go up with yours. Yeah, I'd go up with that
pick your
one.
own What about that 5-0 where Mourinho was like gouging that Pinto's eye? Remember? He wasn't even playing. It was like the Barca reserve keeper. Yeah. And there's a video of them all having a big melee in the tunnel, and Mourinho just gets his finger and digs his finger into that Pinto's eye. And they both
He
get
just
sent
loved being the villain
Yeah.
in Spanish football.
But Mourinho, did he lose that game 5-0?
yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
He lost 5-0.
Barca battered.
Messi holding the shirt up, says
that was
Yassine.
going to be my one.
Robert Lewandowski versus Benzema.
Oh,
Says
yeah, that's
Joe
gonna be-
Dot EE.
Lewandowski.
There's a couple of others that are big ones. I think.
Bale had a big moment in the Copa del Rey against them.
When he
Oh, yeah,
gets
that
off,
was
runs
nice.
off the
Yeah,
pitch.
runs off the pitch and scores.
Yeah.
That was a big moment for
That
him.
was nice.
I think
I
that
enjoyed that.
semi-final Champions League at the Bernabeu when Busquets just taps the ball and Messi just
Yes.
remember that one?
Yeah.
Easiest assist.
That's
in the world,
unbelievable. That is the easiest assist ever, that one, isn't it? And you give it to the
that one.
goal.
Let us know what your favourite moment in El Clásico is. A couple of super chats to read out, and then one more thing on the Clásico before we take a short break. We've read that one out already. Guys, did you hear about Barcelona having to wear the Drake OVO logo on their shirt in El Clásico? That is true. And yesterday was actually National Album Day. So I wanted to ask all of you, what's your favourite ever album?
50
Oh,
Cent, Get
that's
Rich or Die
tough.
Trying.
Good shout.
That's tough.
Great era.
It's gonna have to be a Kanye West one. My Dark Beautiful Twisted
Great
Fantasy.
album.
What a
song. There's no skips on that one.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
listening to
incredible
Up in
album.
the World the other day. It's an incredible song.
Yep.
Matisse, favourite album? Let us know in the chat what yours is too.
It's a very tough question.
Mine, just while you're thinking, mine would probably be either Oasis's first album, definitely maybe, or I would say Watch the Throne, Jay-Z and Kanye. I watched that at the O2 in 2011.
Yeah, I
It
heard
was the
the
best gig
shows
I've
were
been
nuts.
to ever. Givenchy was like the clothing apparel sponsor for it. It was unbelievable, man.
Wow.
So I'd go with them two.
Maybe Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you were going to. I heard you playing that
Can't be
when we were in the
tamed. Do you
studio
remember when
as
she was
well.
going through a phase where she
Yeah,
was like
yeah, yeah.
slapping ass? I thought that was.
I think it's called twerking, Matisse.
Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking
Ball.
She tried to twerk. What she was doing, what she did was not twerking.
What, you thought that was good? That was like what I said last week about breathing up bums. Do you remember? You just done yourself there.
I help you. I was like, let me equalise me there.
Things you can do in a 5 minutes, Matisse.
There you go. That answers that question
Listen
as
to
well.
Wrecking Ball.
Answering in 2 questions
Shake
in
it
one.
up.
That's a good song.
Unbelievable. Let us know in the comments what you think to Matisse. Big up to Rogine for the super chat. Says, not a Chelsea fan, but ever since that game between Barca and them and Chelsea in 09 with the 4 pens that weren't given, I've looked at them differently, in brackets, UEFA Loner.
100%.
Big up to
Fraudulent
Rogine.
behaviour that night.
UEFA Loner.
Yeah. And I know Arsenal fans will agree as well with the Van Persie red card.
Van Persie red card.
Yeah.
Talking about in finances when you're owned by blood money, says EM.
Who's he talking to?
Who's you talking about there? Is that Arsenal? Or?
It's not me, because I've got an American owner now.
Could be
So
you,
I don't know.
Ours is an American owner.
Yeah.
Was thinking Tobi was making sense today, then realised. Says JJ Ash. Lovely stuff. Well, there you go. We're going to go for a short break now, and then when we come back, we'll get into Mbappe and, of course, the second halves of the 3 o'clock kickoffs. See you then.
Kylian.
Do you have so much faith in them considering the position that they're in?
Because I know the quality they have. They know the quality we have. So if I would say this question when we had 10 games left, I would say I think Liverpool cannot catch the top of the league, in that case Arsenal. But being in the position that we are in the World Cup, still everything can happen.
Game against Marseille, you had to rely on a man getting
No,
sent
no,
off.
no, no, you're
This
high.
game, you had to
You
rely
need
on
to,
a
no,
man.
no, no, no. Agenda's about rely. You get me? What happens? You man had to rely on the man getting sent off then. Because the game weren't over, blood, when you beat us.
We were winning 2-1.
So what, blood? The game wasn't over, like I said. So what? You had to rely on the man getting sent off as well?
No, you had it. What did we rely on?
No, don't try it, blood. Look at this guy. Caught out, blood. Caught out in his waffle, blood.
You know what made me
know what
laugh
I mean?
this week? You see the Liverpool fans, they've been salty all week, man. You know what I mean? Sending me things. Oh, Robbie, look at this.
Oh,
this
what?
was offside. This camera weren't working. You lost, man.
Oh, what? Because
You
I saw
lost.
Gabriel, what's his name? Ricky Martinelli, fam. You know what I mean? He stamped on one of their players and should have been sent off. Blood.
Sent off which part? It was
Well, that's
completely
just what
different.
I saw.
Nah,
man,
it's
you know what I
completely
mean?
different
What
to
you
yours.
mean? What was different about it, Robert? Inform me.
Completely different because your guy deliberately did it like that because he
What do you
wanted
mean
to come off.
deliberately? Do you know what's going on in Emerson Royale's head? Blood?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, nothing. You know what I mean?
So this weekend,
Yeah,
Everton at home, light work.
Huh?
Everton
Sorry,
at
I'm
home,
talking
light
to
work
the
for you,
viewers,
innit?
man. You know, like in Keenan and Kel when he talked to the audience. No, hey, listen, don't do that about Everton light work. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's the great Tottenham Hotspur, innit? Light work. Actually, before we get into that, let's get into last week's predictions. You actually beat me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because you know which one you got
I
wrong.
did actually beat you, yeah, but because I was late to the show, you ate all the peppers, blood, so now you can't do it on camera.
The one that you actually got spot on was that Everton versus Man United,
Yeah.
2-1. So that's
I said it.
what made you. I actually got more right, but that one you got 3 points off of. So you got that one and the outcome of Chelsea right. You got the outcome of was it
The
Palace?
Tottenham game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was quite easy to get the outcome of that right.
Yeah,
But
you didn't get it right.
I know that's because I wanted you lot to lose.
What are you talking about? You didn't get
But
it right.
Tottenham versus Everton.
Yeah. Yeah, we're at home. I'm not going to lie. Everton have been playing a lot better. Like, remember, I've always said Everton's a team that I'd love to just play because they've been getting put in the split week in, week out, but they've played a lot better this season. But, nah, I don't think they'll have enough to beat us still. Kulu should be back. I mean, I don't think he'll start, but he'll definitely be back in the team. Yeah, I reckon we're going to give
Interested
Everton...
in that game, right?
We're going to give Everton the sword.
What time's that game on?
5:30.
I ain't watching that. That's be the most boring game. Two teams that just sit.
What are you talking
Two
about?
teams that just like low block sit.
Bruv, whatever, man. Whatever, man.
Is any team going to go across the halfway line?
Man said he's not watching it, but I guarantee you if we go down, yeah, some man's going to be
I'll be
messaging
watching
me.
it.
Yeah, guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Well, there you go. The Best of Enemies, another great show on DR Sports. You can go back and watch that now. We've just seen Robbie and X talking about their predictions. Speaking of predictions, mine is still on.
Mine's still looking good.
We've obviously got the Chilli challenge at the end for Matisse and Tosin to take part in. Tosin has just popped to the toilet, so that is an empty seat. Let's get on to Mbappe. Now, we heard rumours in the week that he wasn't happy. Fabrizio Romano came out and said that he wanted to leave the club at the earliest opportunity. He's not happy with how things have gone there. This is only 130 odd days after he signed a new 4-year deal at PSG. What is happening there? What do you think has happened? And then secondly, where do you go after that? Matty, will come to you first.
Mbappe, look, what an enigma. Like, what a player. But you question whether you would even want him at your club because there's drama surrounds him. Drama constantly surrounds him. He's one of the best talents in world football. But again, how much would he disrupt the dressing room, make everything about him? The headlines are about him. It's the Mbappe show, and you just don't want that disruption. For me, I mean, that would put me off in a way. Although you'd love to see him. I hope he does come to the Premier League. Where does he go is another question, because there isn't that many teams that can afford him, really. I mean, Liverpool would be great. Imagine how much he could fill Mané's boots. But
Liverpool
again,
won't afford him.
would you put up the money for him? No.
Liverpool
you probably wouldn't be able to, would you?
at all.
Probably not.
No.
No
So
chance.
no
And I don't
no
think
one in the Premier League would, apart from Man City, and they don't need him.
I
So-
don't think that type of star is what Klopp is usually driven towards. Do you know what I mean? That type of player. Like, he doesn't want to make a team all about one player.
Yeah.
That's the complete opposite of what Klopp wants to do. Klopp wants to try and create this ethos, this team culture, all this kind of stuff. That's what Liverpool have
He is a big fan of Mbappe, though.
He might be
spoken to them in the past, but whether we can actually front up the money,
I don't. I'd be
different
surprised.
story.
I'd be surprised. I think Mbappe, I mean, if he wanted to go to Real Madrid that badly, probably should have just not signed a new contract. He would have put himself in a stronger position as well, because his contract was running out. So he would have then been guaranteed his move. Now he signed a little extension. I don't know what's going to happen now, but
They've said they don't want him now, Real Madrid, haven't they? So they're not interested?
do you believe that though?
Probably not.
No.
They're just probably trying to force PSG's hand, get a bit 20 million off.
So I think with Mbappe, I think he just needs to be careful that he doesn't almost exclude himself from his own party. Like, you're almost too popular to go to a party because you're just that much of a prick. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't be that guy. Do you know what I mean? Still make sure you can eat. So yeah, it's a weird one for him.
a lot of people mentioning his ego as maybe being a problem here, Tosin. Do you think it's hard to say that without knowing the ins and outs, or do you agree that the negative headlines that kind of surround the drama that is Mbappe versus PSG isn't maybe his fault, or what's going on there?
I'd definitely like to see in him more, because like there's always two sides to a story. From when the guy could
There's
have
three sides, both sides of the truth.
That's true. That's also true. But it's like the guy obviously made the decision to stay at PSG. Some may say yes, lots of money, but clearly he could have left on a free, but he chose to sign a new contract with them. How have things turned so sour? I don't know. I'd like to just get more information. I think he gets painted a bit more as the villain, but PSG just are a very weirdly run club, because there's always somehow issues and drama. If it's not with the manager and the board, it's with players. It's just, I think there's just too much egos in that team, basically. I'd like to know more information.
Which team would he suit if he was? I mean, we mentioned Liverpool there. The realistic options, I guess there aren't many.
No. Arsenal.
Where do you think he would fit in the best? Which team?
I wouldn't say Arsenal. Even if it was realistic, with Arteta, no chance. I mean, if he couldn't handle Guendouzi, he's not handling Mbappe, so that's off the list.
True.
Chelsea, I would be shocked as well with Graham Potter. You know, I think it doesn't really make sense to me as well. Manchester City with Pep, I mean, with Haaland, it's just not going to happen. But if there's one manager I think he'll calm down for, it might be Pep. I think Pep could probably, maybe, just bring the best out of his qualities and not allow him to get too egotistical or too inflated in that regard. But I think Carlo Ancelotti's the manager, really. He's the one that can deal with the big personalities, always deals. He's got a track record of dealing with the big players. And maybe that's what it is with Mbappe, because the new coach that's come in at PSG maybe also doesn't have a big track record as well of dealing with big players. I think they brought him in from, who was it?
Lille,
yeah, from Lille, and that was a Campos choice. Yeah, that was a Campos choice. There's like rumours of him not being happy because they didn't sign Lewandowski, they didn't get certain players in, certain managers. He wanted Zidane, but I think from the moment a player is almost a sporting director and decides who the manager is and who comes in terms of players, I think we've gone too far.
But do you believe that?
it's what's reported by a lot of top journalists that are closely connected. You know,
that's a mad amount of power to give to a player like.
But I'm pretty sure we all knew he had this power when he signed that contract. Was it? That was the initial reports when he signed the new contract that he was going to have this kind of power.
I didn't believe it. I was
yeah.
But what soured in the last 3 months this bad that he now wants to rip that contract?
He feels that promises have been broken, is what a lot of reporters are saying. Players coming in, manager not coming in. He also wanted to apparently play in a two-striker system or play off the flank, and he's been basically made to play at the focal point with Messi and Neymar behind him, which he doesn't like.
It's weird though, because it's like, where did this ego from Mbappe come from? Because I remember him at Monaco. I never got this.
No.
I never got this. Like,
is it him or is it the people around him that are pushing him into making decisions? Or
well, when you've probably got everyone around you telling you the best thing ever, it's going to boost your ego, isn't it? And you can never say anything wrong. You'll have a bunch of yes men around him, and he's got the media around him. He's on the cover of FIFA. He's the next big thing and all that.
That's true.
That's where it's
he
coming
earns
from.
more than everybody now. I think he's the highest paid player in the world as well.
People
apparently Neymar, he doesn't. He apparently wanted Neymar to be sold. They were also saying as well, which shocked me because I thought they were. I thought they were close. I thought they were good mates. So I don't know. There's so much coming out of that club. You don't really know what to believe, to be honest, because there could be a whole heap of PR that PSG are leaking to protect themselves and protect their own club image. So yeah.
Apparently there was rumours that they'd made fake Twitter accounts to praise the board during this process.
That's so odd.
Boss.
So I wouldn't put it past
How
them.
much would it take for you guys if somebody said, "I'll pay you to tweet good things about the club"?
A lot. I mean, I tweet very good things about Liverpool anyway. Got to respect myself a little bit more than that, mate. Come on. He's the highest paid athlete in the world from salary, says Alex. Well, there you go. I mean, where does he end up? He wants to leave. I mean,
has to
want
be
to
Real.
get rid of
It has to. It's the only option, isn't it?
He has to leave.
Has to be Real.
I'd love to see him in the Premier League, but
I'd love to see Real Madrid humble out though.
Yeah, they'd have to kind of drop any, ego here and be like, well, if you want to come, you can.
I think Real Madrid's the one club that's bigger than any player, and no player will be able to because the fans will quickly humble you.
Have that,
no, it's too big.
They were bitter this summer.
They were. Their ego was hurt, man. They're Real Madrid. They thought they could get whatever they wanted.
They were so bitter.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, there you go. Acting like his Ronaldo idol. His idol Ronaldo, says Harris.
But Ronaldo wasn't egotistical, Cristiano Ronaldo, was he?
Yeah. He is.
But I don't remember him causing these issues.
No one's ever done this.
No, this is unprecedented. Because even at Manchester United, he didn't come in as the polished player. Ronaldo had a lot to work on. He was very skillful and he's very talented, but his decision making and his output still needed improvement. And Ferguson obviously helped that, I guess. So I haven't seen a player like this really ever. Messi obviously doesn't never come into the conversation. Even Neymar is kind of, there's always been talk about Neymar, but everybody that knows Neymar close, like the Brazilian coach, they always speak about him. He's a great team player, good for the young players. So I don't think...
He will finish off as Brazil's all-time goal scorer as well.
And Neymar's, the way his playing style is, it's not selfish. He's a playmaker. He creates for others. That's his whole remit. He just wants to have fun on the football pitch.
I think this is why I go Haaland over Mbappe, just because of these off-the-pitch. I mean, listen, again, without knowing the ins and outs, maybe we shouldn't say this, but I just feel like I don't think Haaland would ever kick up a fuss like this. And if they are the two that you are comparing right now, that's who I go with.
Yeah, I mean, Mbappe is the better all-round player, I think, but Haaland, in terms of what you said there, and you love seeing what Haaland sees off the pitch, don't you? Did a brilliant thing with Gary Neville again the other day. Seeing that he loves kebabs.
Pizza kebabs as
well. Pizza kebabs, yeah.
Gary Neville said, what do you eat? Like, look at the size of him, the goals he scores. And he did say that he doesn't eat it a lot, or he can't eat it a lot.
Someone in the background was saying, giving him signals, that's why.
He said wine, didn't he? He goes, I love wine and pizza.
I heard Haaland. I heard Haaland off the pitch, like at Dortmund. I heard he was like a guy that used to like go out a lot. And
really?
That's what I heard. Because because his injury record at Dortmund was actually quite shocking.
Yeah, it was.
And apparently he didn't really take care of himself. And that's one of the things. That's one of the question marks that people had over him coming here. But people were saying Pep will sort that out.
Yeah, Pep will.
So it's working so far.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
There you go. Let us know what you think about Haaland, and if he is better than Mbappe, let us know about that as well. I wanted to bring up Akanji, his quick arithmetics.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
did
the
you see
maths.
this video?
I did.
Yeah, right. So the
Unbelievable.
interviewer said, Matty, to Akanji, the Man City defender who's just come from Dortmund.
Looking
He
good.
said, Man City have won 22 major honours. You've had 53 caps for Switzerland. What's 22 times 53? And he went, 962. And they were like, what? And he's like a human calculator, this guy. It's incredible.
Yeah,
I've never seen
Scary.
anything
Any
like it.
question,
Scary.
any, you know.
Now, Swiss international, right?
Yeah.
They didn't try this with division, so I'm not going to jump to conclusions.
Well,
maybe he's just a
try
multiplier. You know, maybe he's just a multiplier. We don't know. He might not be a divider.
Kanji
So-
doing
You're a
up
cynic,
there.
man. This guy's a cynic. Just give him his dues.
Oh, honestly, this guy is a human calculator, and it's pretty.
Yeah, that was very
good
impressive.
blocker.
Good Will Hunting. Do you know what I mean?
Great buy.
Yeah.
Mathematician.
It's like the Rain Man.
Yeah.
He just knows everything. What's your party trick? I mean, that's pretty cool what he can do. What would you say your party trick
My
is?
party trick is I can't see. So anything past Matty becomes blur. And I think that's quite incredible when you really think about
But
it.
then you put your glasses on.
And then I can see everything.
Magic.
So it's not a party trick,
Yeah.
is it?
Well,
Is it?
it is in its own.
Blindness.
I can do this. That's it. That's what I can do. Like,
Ooh, what is that?
basically, just like bend.
Oh, yeah, it's a bit.
Ooh.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so and do this on someone on Halloween and like make a weird noise. They get freaked out.
I've also got a lazy eye as well, so I can see over there when I'm looking there. People
That
point
is,
out
that
many
is
a
good,
time.
to be fair.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
No, that is impressive. So you've got a bendy finger. What have you got?
I've got a.
Jet ski.
I'm trying.
I've got a jet ski.
I'm trying. That's more of a child lane than the party trick, like.
I've got a jet ski on order, like it's actually equipment.
Aye, aye, darling. Jet ski en route. Like,
That is a sick one-liner, isn't it? In the club, I've got a jet ski. Where is it? Oh, it's on this way.
Where is it?
You said that last time.
Barbados.
Birmingham.
No.
It's in Birmingham.
It's on the M1.
Yeah, literally.
Oh man.
Anything else apart from that? Or?
Oh, nah, I don't think I've got a party trick, to be honest with you, mate. No. I'm sorry to bore you with that one, mate,
Well,
but
in the comments,
quite surprised.
We've
I
got
don't know,
Tendi item who
party
says,
trick.
"I can lick my elbow." That's my.
Everybody
party
claims
trick.
to, but can they really? That's the question.
Well, I mean,
Is
I
it
don't
hard
even
to
know if
lick
I
your
want to
elbow?
see the video that proves that. to be
what's your
honest.
party trick?
Spanish.
Well, maybe that, but I don't know, like impressions maybe.
Impressions, yeah, definitely.
I've been at a few parties where they go, "Do your Michael Owen again, go on."
Come on, let's hit Michael
All right,
Owen.
Mum.
Come on, let's hit.
So when you go around with Sunday
That's a
dinner,
good
like
way
that.
to- Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's probably that. I can do a couple weird finger things.
Can you do a Rafa Benitez?
We have a great squad. It's not the Steve Gerrard, the Torres is very good players, but I think we have to look at the fact. The fact, the squad, the quality is very good. The Steve is a good player. See, look, in the comments, do a Michael Owen. You know, I'm not a performing monkey, but I will do it anyway.
on, let's
'cause
see.
the games are
Let's see Michael
quite
Owen.
boring at the minute. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's great, really, to have Tosin on the show. Matty Renton did a big rant about
That
me
is
the other
class.
day, talking about the fact that obviously I chose to go back to Liverpool. They didn't want me, much like my wife after I came back. Anyway, I could do it all day.
That's class.
Unreal,
That's
that.
mine. Let us know
Unreal.
in the comments. Keep them coming. What is your party trick? Keep it clean though.
Aye,
You know,
that's
there's
why I
probably-
couldn't.
Well, you couldn't say
No.
yours. Yeah, I remember what you said before. Speak like Gemma Owen. I just did it basically. She just speaks exactly like her dad, doesn't she? A lot of laughing emojis. Big up to everyone who enjoyed that one. If AGT entered Britain's Got Talent, he would win it all.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or America's Got Talent.
Well, yeah,
'Cause-
AGT.
Yeah.
That's what people say. Like, oh, you on Instagram? I say, yeah, AGT. And they go, wow, you got like 50 million followers. No, just the one under that. Because it's true. If you type in AGT on Insta, I'm always second. Always.
How you gonna
your
beat
guy
that?
in New York about that, mate?
How are you
I know,
going to
man.
beat that algorithm?
Well, Simon Coward is quite a tough negotiator, so I doubt he'll give me the handle. It is just AGT. People have tagged me in that before, expecting me to reply. Yeah, Santiago says this is more entertaining than the games. That's the best thing that's come out of AGT's mouth, says Tim Moore.
Keep that there.
Again, a joke that I could have made there, but we won't go
Before the
into that
watershed.
one. It's not 9 o'clock
Oh,
yet.
that's a good one. Do Don Robbie.
I've got a funny feeling, Alex. I really do. Do you know, Expressions does the best, Robbie.
Hi, welcome back.
Hi, welcome back to Dion Sports. Yeah, that's brilliant. Shall we talk about, this is a lie as well. AGT, I saw you in Rainer's Lane and you aired me, man. Why? Every week this hard bruh guy writes that I've met him somewhere and I've never even been to Rainer's Lane.
That's like West London.
Can't try that. Yeah. No, I don't go them sides. Let's talk about the big game tomorrow then. Let's preview it.
Man United Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
thought
one.
so. Yeah.
So let's talk about that first, and then we can get into the second big game.
Leeds Arsenal?
Yes. And then after that, well, we've done a Clásico.
Villa Chelsea?
So, yep. And then after that, it's Leeds Arsenal, and then we do...
Yeah.
Who's playing tomorrow?
I am. I'm playing tomorrow.
yeah, you're playing tomorrow on top of that.
I actually am
City are playing the team, right?
Yeah,
Liverpool.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
Let's go with the real United in the building first. Newcastle United.
That's the one.
At Old Trafford. I saw you asking for an away ticket. Are you getting down to that?
I've got hella notifications. I need to get back to them, but I haven't heard anything yet. Trying my best. Like gold us getting Newcastle tickets these days. So especially for away
tickets
days.
Is honestly
it's crazy, bro. But hopefully, get down there because I'm telling you, be witnessing a win.
Why are you this confident? Big penalty to Fulham, by the way.
Oh, that's
is
not
this
good for
an
the
opportunity for Mitrovic to add to his tally? We'll be back with you in a second. But why are you so confident that you can beat United tomorrow?
Because I've just watched them need a last-minute winner against INAPA FC. Peter Monia on Thursday night. Cyprus, you know. See the goalkeeper taking selfies with everyone, and they needed Scott McTominay in the last minute to score a goal. Come on, man. I mean, domestically in Europe is a bit of a different story, but for me, the way we're playing, the Manchester United I'm seeing, they've had less than 48 hours to prepare. We've had a week off the back of a couple of big wins.
Yeah,
I fancy it.
I think if you had
and it is a goal for Mitrovic. He gets his 7th of the season now, and that has now ruined my prediction.
Same.
True goal.
Yeah.
If you don't think the injuries will play any part for you guys? No, Sir Maximum. No.
It has to play some part.
Oh, penalty to Wolves.
Who will score it? Who will take it for?
Well, it'll surely be Ruben Neves, won't it?
I don't know.
Give it to Costa.
Give it to Costa.
Diego Costa would be nice.
Is this Diego Costa's first
That would be
Premier League
wonderful.
goal?
I'm sure Ruben Neves is going to take
it's
it.
a goal. They've taken the penalty
Wow,
very
they took
quickly.
that very quickly.
And
Wow.
who scored it?
Ruben
It's Ruben
Neves.
Neves.
There you go.
It is Ruben Neves, the new captain for Wolverhampton Wanderers.
Needs to leave.
But no, the injuries do worry us, Matisse, as you are saying. You know, Alan St. Maximin being out is a blow, even to not have the option off the bench. But it's been an unchanged side for the last couple of weeks. Teams that's banging in goals and winning games.
You expect Bruno Guimaraes to dominate that midfield?
Absolutely. There's only one Bruno in the Premier League, and it's not Fernandes, is it?
Listen, I've been saying it from the get-go. He's the better Bruno.
1,000,000%, mate.
Better footballer, better defensively.
Yeah.
Shoots from range, scores headers.
All-round baller.
Unbelievable.
I said it here on that deadline day show we did
What happened to
back in January.
Fernandes?
I think he just got found out, if I'm being completely honest.
I just had one of them players have good spells. They'll have 10, 12 good run of games.
Don't get me wrong, he was a hero for them. He was slapping in the
So
goals.
we're not so he's not a good player anymore.
He's a
no?
good player, but he's not a great
not a
player.
class player.
He's not a great player. You know, he had a lot of penalties, a lot of stat padding, a lot of output, a lot of end. He was on the final of a lot of things, but I wouldn't say his decision making is of that level. I see a lot of time he messes up the simple passes, or he should see this, but he doesn't see it. And I just don't think he's the player that they made him out to be at Man United.
I agree.
It's the type of game that you can expect Newcastle to be confident about, considering... I mean, is it though, considering how poor United have been though? Because they have put together a decent little run that's maybe masked up the fact that they were so poor before they won a game.
Yeah.
But if Newcastle beat them tomorrow, not only do you go above them, but then people will probably start looking at United after they got battered by City. I know they won last week, you know, very slimly. But if they lose that to you, then they're in trouble again.
It's a big marker tomorrow for those both reasons, to find out, are Newcastle really in the mix? That's a ballpark tomorrow. That's a test. Are we really going to be in the top 6, top 8 this year? If we can compete, it's all good and well beating Brentford and Fulham and these teams, but when you go to Old Trafford, what are you really about? It's a chance to put a marker down, make everyone take us seriously. And if not, Manchester United their fans will probably be expecting a win. Other fans might be expecting them to still do a job. Newcastle haven't got a great record at Old Trafford, but it's a big chance for Newcastle to go there and make a claim.
Yeah.
I think statement.
I think them playing.
United will win though. Not Newcastle, but I can see United winning.
I think them playing in Europa League is big part.
Yeah.
Most teams struggle after they play on a Thursday night and they have to go and play on the weekend.
And they had a strong side out as well.
Yeah, they did.
They made 4 or 5 changes. It's pretty much their starting 11.
Yeah. So we have to be careful for that.
A lot of people in the comments believing that Newcastle will win tomorrow night.
Yes.
Jean-Pierre Shields says they won't get slapped this year. Gamiras has had nowhere near the impact of Bruno in his first year. Your man is short-sighted.
Mental.
Says King of in the Indies. I mean, he did have a very good season to
I think that's a
start with.
very fair
He
point.
did score like 28 goals.
He was mad.
28 goals.
But he was
In all
insane for
comps,
United. Come on.
Oh, an all comp side.
20-something.
A lot of penalties. A lot of penalties.
Yeah, but come on. Like he was
Didn't show up in the big games either, to be fair.
Oh, come on. But he was all over what United were doing when they were remotely decent under Solskjaer when they finished second. Like, he was a beast. Guimaraes is a very good player, but, like, come on. Like, I think that's a very fair comment to make there.
Okay.
Who would you prefer in your team?
What, now?
Yeah. No, just in general. If you used to take the two footballers at their best, who would you
At their
prefer?
apex?
I'm still taking Guimaraes. Brazil starting
Never heard that
midfielder
in
for the
football.
Brazilian team. Isn't he?
Yeah, Brazilian international. Starts every game.
He's a proper player, he is.
Yeah, I'll take Newcastle player. I'll take the
It's
Newcastle
fair to admit,
player.
though, that the first season at United for Bruno was
He was
unreal, but
sensational.
Bruno Guimaraes has shown us all what he's about.
Yeah, but he's very...
Jez for
very good
Prez
player.
says, yeah, legit, no one followed Newcastle before. Now they're all buying old Newcastle jerseys on eBay.
The price has gone up for them jerseys a bit, yeah.
The price has gone up.
I'm selling them all.
Yeah, to pay for that jet ski, no doubt.
Dug out the loft. Dug out the 90 shades out the loft. Got a jet ski.
Got that cheer on
James
eBay
Forrest
now.
again with another goal for
300
Celtic.
quid.
Is that a hat-trick?
Yeah, hat-trick now for
Aaron
James
Moy.
Forrest.
Aaron Moy is at Celtic.
Huddersfield
Former
legend.
Huddersfield legend.
Yeah,
Sunderland 1.
Huddersfield.
Wigan 1.
Yeah. Elliot Embleton, whoever the hell that
Your
is.
former rivals getting an equaliser.
I really want Sunderland to come up now. I just
So
want
do
to
I.
see. I just
Big
want to see
time.
the rivalry.
Score
again.
prediction for tomorrow then?
2-1 Newcastle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scorers?
Wilson and Bruno, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I had 1-1. I'll stick to that.
I'm going to go with... I like a 2-2 in that one.
I'd be happy with a draw, don't get us wrong.
Yeah.
Definitely take a draw as well, but I think we can go there and get 3.
I would love Newcastle to win, but I can see
need a
2-1 United win.
Okay. Let us know in the comments what
What
you
you think?
think the score's going to be tomorrow. 2-2.
Matisse?
Oh yeah, I'm
1-1
going.
you
I'm
said.
going 1-1. Yeah, yeah. I'm
1-1,
going
yeah.
with a draw. Yeah.
Big up to Matisse in the building from Tosibo.
Oh, big up. Big up.
He
Is
also
is that a site?
he also
moment
says your
again?
footy knowledge is very questionable.
See, I knew it. you see, I was saying big up, and then I retracted it immediately. I was like, I think he's about to have one here on me. What do you mean my football knowledge is questionable?
not
Because
me.
because I didn't say Bruno was a top player.
So I tell him.
I think he's a good. I think he's a
you're
good
very
player.
knowledgeable.
I think
It's
he's a
not
good
me.
player, but
Yeah,
he's yet to really achieve anything apart from winning Player of the Month awards. So
that's fair actually. He's a good player, not a great player.
Yeah, he's not
Because
a great
United
player.
painted him out to be this world-class great player.
they had him in Steven Gerrard and Lampard comparisons in that first season.
That's a joke.
Nah, it's a joke.
Yeah.
You cannot do that to anyone after a year. The players that were doing it for
I
10,
was saying
15
that about
years.
Jay
Watch them.
Spearing going to be the next Stevie G, mate. So, you know, things can go wrong sometimes.
Okay.
Matisse,
great
do you...
case.
Cheers, mate. Do you realise how terrible Chelsea have been? It's a fact that they will finish below
fact.
United. It's a fact.
Ooh.
It's a fact.
Pot blew up.
I mean, listen, you are more than welcome to try and finish above us. You should be, considering you're playing Ammonia in midweek. So
Yeah,
you have all week to prepare for your Premier League games. You should be able to beat Ammonia with your B team. Not like us Champions League teams who have to focus on 2 things at once. So yeah, good luck.
That ammonia thing was mad though, you know.
You're not over this.
No, seriously.
You just love like
These ammonia players are like PAs, man. Like they're outside the restaurants and the bars, like
selling headphones.
selling fish bowls and 2 shots for a £5. Come in this bar, 2 shots for a £5. Yeah. And then they're getting draws at Old Trafford with them in there go. Mad.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Mad.
Big up to Cass for the super chat. AK Dash, I should say, who says Bruno in PL so far, 95 games, 37 goals, 13 pens, 26 assists. It's so easy to go with the narrative. Ronaldo in the team has limited his effects on the team.
That is actually a really good record, to be fair.
But my point is
I
that
don't
if
think so.
if he was a top
They came
player
from
and he had a lot of strings to his arrow, a lot of bows to his arrow, then he should just be able to accommodate himself with Ronaldo. No, I've seen many players play brilliantly with Ronaldo, Ozil, all of these guys.
Yeah.
So if Bruno Fernandes is such a great player, why does Ronaldo coming in and playing up front and taking more of the limelight? Why does that ruin him? He should just create for him, no?
And plus, that's a redundant comment because they play together for Portugal and they work well together. Like Bruno has assisted a fair few amount of Ronaldo goals for the Portugal team, so I don't really buy that. I think Bruno, he's a good player, but like he does some weird. He makes really weird.
Big moaner as well.
Yeah. He makes. Exactly.
Horrible watching him
exactly.
on the pitch. Horrible.
I don't like players that don't take personal responsibility. He's a victim on the pitch, and like it's weird. He's got like a lack of spatial awareness as a player. Like it's almost sometimes he makes really weird back passes. Like. You know, like you've got central midfielders that almost play like they got eyes at the back of their head. They just know their surroundings.
I don't really scanning, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really see that with Bruno. So
he's a high volume player, I say. He needs a lot of attempts.
Captain as well.
Mad.
I mean, it's a better option than Maguire.
It's a better option than Maguire.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that checks out.
That's not a compliment, though.
No.
If I'm honest.
That checks out.
Phil Jones, I think, would be. You think I'm not joking.
I'm surprised De Gea's never got it, considering.
Yeah, it's true. But he's making a lot of howlers nowadays. So.
Absolutely. Big up to everyone in the comments. Roger's sacked. Tuchel was signed for Leicester. I'm not too sure about that. Roger, there is a few people saying Roger's sacked though in the comments.
Really? It happened.
Has he been sacked?
Let's have a look.
I haven't got anything on the old.
I don't think that is true, guys.
Guys, are you telling a fib? A lie to us again?
Porky pies.
No, guys.
Don't think Tuchel would go to Leicester though, would he?
He wouldn't.
We spoke about this yesterday.
They like to.
Matisse was offended.
They like to wind me up by saying Tuchel would ever manage Leicester.
He wouldn't go to Leicester. Tell you who would go though.
England.
Rafa
Benitez.
Exactly.
That would be a match made in heaven. That.
He'd keep
them up. He'd suit that club. I think that would be a good signing for both.
He could be there for years.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that would work well. Aye. Yeah.
But he'd probably have to do it without Maddison.
Yeah.
And Tielemans.
He's not. Rafa's football is not.
Who's Tielemans going to go to?
Someone. He will go to
Liverpool should take him. You know, they need a player like him.
His stocks aren't what they were 2 years ago.
True, but
that was when we were looking at him. But now it's just like, well, he's a bit washed. Because he hasn't been playing well, has he? Really?
And now, but the head's gone, innit? Head's gone, which doesn't speak volumes for his character. But the head's gone. He needs that. He needs a fresh start.
Who are we talking about?
Tielemans.
Oh God, yeah.
G. Rodriguez scored a hat-trick for Burnley.
5-0 up against Swansea now.
Wow.
Some game that at Turf Moor.
It's a great win for them.
Chelsea are playing Aston Villa tomorrow as well. There's so many great 2 o'clock kickoffs tomorrow. We've got Chelsea, Villa, United, Arsenal, Leeds, and also Liverpool, Man City at 4:30. Southampton, West Ham at 2 as well. What's impressed you with Chelsea in the last few weeks since Potter's taken over?
Haircut.
Yeah, I mean, listen, HD Cuts have done a splendid job. Or maybe it's A-Star
See what
Barbers.
he said about that?
He did. And we've all been saying it.
Everyone was saying he had a glow up because
he did have a glow up. And he was like, I don't know what a glow up is.
I don't know what a glow up is, but I had a haircut that was quite expensive.
Yeah, it was quite expensive. And he's got the fade, he's got, the beard's been trimmed. Yeah, he's got the roll neck.
The black roll neck.
Yeah, the guy,
looking good, bro.
Spent a few quid on Kings Road.
Yeah, he's managing.
Chelsea pay paquet.
Yeah,
been spent.
Hey, Kings Road, you got to turn up, you got to style up. So, and also the team have started up on the pitch, playing well. Good football. I have to manage it and not get too ahead of myself because when we've had managers, and I say this with Tuchel, when people start to drag Tuchel down to praise Potter, I always say Tuchel had a great start. First 6 months win the Champions League. Great press conferences, everything's fresh. The football, everybody's. But that's what happens when you get a new manager. That's what should happen. So it's been great. The football's been good. He's playing people in areas that we understand. It makes sense. Players are performing well. Mason Mount, right back up to his level now.
Yeah.
He had a really messy start to the season for me where there was some games where I wasn't really seeing him on the ball, and then now I'm starting to really see he's back to where he was when he was winning Player of the Year, especially in his first season. And I think hopefully from Potter's point of view, I just want to see him develop players. I think Kai Havertz needs a kick. Pulisic, kick. These guys need kicking on in their careers because they're starting to just plateau. And we're seeing some
up the backside or just a kickstart.
Both. Kick up the backside.
Thing really, aren't they?
Yeah, just 100%. 100%. So for
slapping
me,
arses.
Potter's just slapping arses.
Potter's going around breathing up their bums, slapping their arses.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Pulisic, against Wolves was good. Kai Havertz has showed little glimpses. Just want to see more output. Yeah, Aubameyang getting goals. Funnily enough, I think Aubameyang now is probably more likely to succeed with Potter than maybe he would have been under Tuchel because the forwards were kind of struggling for goals, and he was obviously more focused on the defence because that had been the foundations for his success. Whereas Potter seems to have just kind of just said, you know what, we're just going to just go out there and just try and be a little bit more expressive and a little bit shackles are off. And maybe it's because he hasn't experienced what Tuchel has in terms of like different players, you know, weaknesses in those moments where you're like, oh shit, look at that, and I have to like rejig my brain in terms of Jorginho and you know, speed and all these things. But it's early days, so I'll judge Potter, you know, more in the coming years when we go through a rough spell. Not
at this stage,
at the start.
early on in his career at Chelsea, obviously, but does he look like you made the right choice? Because you were linked with other managers, big names that you're always going to be. But do you think in those lists you've made the right choice? Time will tell, obviously. But
when Tuchel was sacked in the beginning, I was shocked. I didn't even process any names after that because I was like, I can't believe this is even happening. I didn't even go online that day. I didn't even do my reaction on YouTube, so to speak. I put that out a day later. I was absolutely like flabbergasted. I couldn't believe he was sacked. So I didn't know who the right choice was because I didn't even have names in my head. So when Potter was appointed, which was pretty quick, I was just like, cool. I rate him. I think everybody does. You know, he's done an incredible job at Brighton. I think they had their highest place finish last season. Plays good football. Coached a lot of, you know, improved a lot of players. McAllister, he's moved him to replace Basuma. Nobody saw that coming. Casado, you know, all these guys. Trossard. So he's done wonders.
Gross.
Yeah, Gross. So yeah, I like Potter a lot. But time will tell for sure because I think a lot of people are starting to forget Tuchel is a top manager. Like, this is not just no run-of-the-mill, any old... This is a guy that took us to 2 cup finals, lost on penalties last season, Champions League winner, won the Club World Cup and the Super Cup. He's won literally everything you can possibly win, almost, you know, in terms of getting to every single final and then, like I said, winning the major honours. So, and then PSG and Dortmund as well. What went wrong?
He's just stubborn.
You could maybe say, yeah, he should have maybe been a little bit more flexible system-wise or formation-wise, maybe have a little plan B and not stick to that back three maybe. But I don't think it's that for me. It's more just his comments maybe on certain players that never left in the end, like Ziyech and Pulisic, and he kept using them. So if you're not going to rate these players publicly and you're going to say, you know, the attack is kind of dysfunctional and it's the same attackers, same problems, then don't use the people that you're slagging off, do you know what I mean? Don't take them on pre-season and these things. But in the end, it was a massive summer, loads of overhaul, loads of players leaving, couldn't get them all out in the end, maybe that he wanted to. But it's also more about owner, manager, not seeing eye to eye.
He wanted his own man, didn't he?
So he wanted his own man. So
you see Thomas Tuchel say that he would take the England job. He'd be interested.
I did see that.
Everyone's saying and thinking Southgate's going to go after the World Cup. You think that would be a good appointment?
I'd like to see that, especially
German in charge of England.
Can you imagine? I would like to see it.
I would definitely take anyone over Southgate.
And if people are saying he's a great cup manager, which his record would show that he's a great cup manager, you know, like I said, took us to every final, then no better way than to go and manage major tournaments and just bag the win immediately. Because this England team need to win something.
Big time.
They do.
Yeah, they need to win something. They've got too many good players. This is a serious opportunity. You know, I'm looking throughout that team. You say Maddison can't even get in the squad, quality player. You know, you've got the likes of Ben White playing well. You've got, finally now you have balance in midfield with Declan Rice, Holden, Bellingham coming up, Foden. Look how much quality.
If I was England, like, it's risky, but get rid of Southgate now.
I would do it.
Do it now, bro. Yeah, do it tomorrow.
I would do it.
Yeah, bro, I'll do it.
I would do it.
Because you know Southgate's not going to, he's not going to change.
Not deliver.
So just throw the dice.
It's another opportunity wasted this winter. It's another opportunity
he's going to play the exact same way. It's just going to be a waste of a World Cup.
Yeah.
No, bro, I'd 100% do it. It is going to be a waste of a World Cup. 100%.
Snoozegate out, Thomas in. Yeah?
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
Snoozegate.
Interesting. Let us know in the comments what you think. As always, we'd like to hear your opinion. Reece James, as we found out live on the weekend preview show yesterday, the game day preview show, he's out.
He's out of there.
He's out for a while. We had a comment just there that's gone now, but it said something along the lines of, watch how Chelsea struggle now because they rely on Reece James so much.
Yeah, I mean, Reece James is, for me, our best player. I really do. I think he's indispensable. He's one of those players that walks into any team in the world. Real Madrid wanted him. You know, Man City wanted him to replace Walker. Thankfully, he signed a new deal. Guy can do it all. One of the best shooters in the team, best crosser, great tackler, locking up players, making Zaha switch wings, dealt with Leao. He's just an incredible footballer, and I knew that from when he was on loan at Wigan and they moved him into central midfield. Do you know what I mean? And made him captain on the final day. I think for us, he has been almost, we've over-relied upon him. What frustrates me about Chelsea is that we knew that he had some injury concerns from the last few years, and we didn't buy a right back who we trusted to deputise him and keep our style of play. Because Azpilicueta is obviously a lot older. he's not a modern day fullback
Over
in
10
terms
years
of,
older.
Yeah. And he's not a modern day fullback that you're expecting to overlap and stretch teams and, you know, give you the same threat. So I feel like we're compromising ourselves a little bit, as great as he's been for us. So that does frustrate me, because that was a warning sign that we should have known about from ages ago, but we didn't address that in the summer. But like I said, we maybe had too much to do. Kante's out, but
Going to miss the World Cup as well, isn't he?
We're used to Kante being out. And again, it's the same thing with you guys with the midfield, where you know you need a midfielder. Go and spend the money and bring in somebody to replace these injury-prone players. Cover and Kante, injury-prone now. They're just bringing injury upon injury upon injury. And we're starting to get to a point with football where who's not injury-prone? Do you know what I mean? It's getting to the point where everybody's injury-prone. I don't know.
Just playing too many games.
Yeah. So it's insane. But with that comes, if you see that you're playing too many games and that your players are starting to get injury-prone, you need to prepare for that as a squad. You know, I saw comments before of, Chelsea without Kante is finished. People were saying that 2 years ago. Why have we not addressed it? It's not something that we should be, using to prop up Kante. We should be saying that to sort ourselves out. Like, every other team in the world doesn't have Kante, so why is it when we don't have him, we're finished? We should have a replacement. So yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, it's what it is.
You mentioned Kante. He's probably going to leave on a free when it comes down to it. Where does he rank amongst Chelsea's best Premier League midfielders?
I think he's top. I think he's potentially top 5.
I'd say definitely top 5.
Yeah, I think he has to. The reason why I won't go top 3 is just because it's hard for me to rank them when you've got Lampard in there. You've got Makalele. You've got some Ballack. Yeah. Like even Matic when he was here was class.
Yeah,
Matic was unbelievable for us, but. Mikel's very underrated. John Obi Mikel was very important. So, but Kante is definitely top 5.
I'd say top 3.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd say it's Lampard, Kante, and then maybe Makalele.
Yeah, he gets there ahead of Ballack.
Maybe, yeah. Sure. Essien was injury prone, which was a shame.
Wow.
He was a top player. Essien was unbelievable.
He was class.
Fabregas?
If Fabregas was at Chelsea longer. If Fabregas was at Chelsea longer, I think he would have maybe had a conversation to get in there. Won the league, yeah. But he was only there for maybe 3 seasons in the end, for 2.5. So, but yeah, Kante's been incredible, man. It's the classic case of a car with just too much mileage on it. He's covering the earth. Of course, at some point he's going to break down. And you see what he did for Leicester with Drinkwater, unbelievable in that 4-4-2. Then comes to Chelsea, plays with Matic, wins the league. Champions League, probably one of the best players in the tournament when he won it with us, and World Cup as well, playing with Pogba all those years. So yeah, unbelievable footballer.
Cheeky Ramirez, he was class.
Ramirez was class as well.
Ramirez was proper.
He was class.
Brilliant. Shame that he took off to wherever
his lovely lob at the new camera.
He was so good for Chelsea.
Looking at the other side of things, at Villa, 10 games played, 2 games won, 3 draws, 4 losses, 9 points. Where do Villa go from here if they lose against
Championship?
Chelsea?
2 points above the relegation zone.
Facts.
If Southampton get a result at West Ham, Chelsea will beat Villa. They could be in the bottom 3. Well, they will be in the bottom 3 with what I've just said. They need to take action. For me, Aston Villa, Gerrard's not it. Gerrard is not it. The money they've spent, their squad on paper is unbelievable.
It is.
It's really, really unbelievable.
Should be doing a lot better than what they are.
I mean, it's pathetic.
It's minimum top 10, isn't it?
Yeah.
Minimum.
I mean,
Lucas Digne, 27 million.
Them,
maybe until the World Cup. See where they're at before the World Cup break, and then if they're in the same situation, get rid.
Yeah, you have to. You have to get rid of him if the situation doesn't change, because they're going to get relegated. They will.
Really? Imagine that side. I'd snap up
Coutinho.
Quite a few of those players from Villa.
Chelsea won't beat Villa, Jack Burton says. 2-2. In the show yesterday, I actually said Villa win 2-1.
Really? Why?
Yeah. Just fancy it. Got a feeling.
I think he's
Gerrard.
got
his Liverpool
Gerrard
on.
Yeah, maybe. They need to drop Watkins. Shocking player, says Daz.
Yeah, because what do you expect? He's not this predatory goal scorer. He's not.
Well, the stats aren't looking great.
Penalty to Nottingham Forest.
Massive moment here in the game at the Molineux.
Long VAR check, it has been a penalty awarded to Forest at Molineux. Chance for Forest to equalise.
Do you know what? If Forest do score this with 15 minutes to go, they're going to be absolutely over the moon to maybe come away with a point. But if you're Wolves, what can you do to get a win? And again, such a low-scoring game, but could there be a second goal? Who's going to take it as well?
Managerless Wolves, there'll be a 1-1 one that straight at the record signing.
Yeah, I think so. Who's going to take it? Who takes it?
My prediction's looking good, though, if Forest can bury it.
Yeah, me too.
I think I went 2-1 Wolves, didn't I?
Yeah.
You did?
Make it interesting.
Still 15 to go, though. We'll let you know what happens to that penalty as soon as we know as well.
Sunderland have turned things around. They were 1-0 down at home to Wigan. They are now 2-1 up.
Also, Millwall 2-1 up now away to Bristol City. Zian Fleming. It's a cool name.
It is.
And we'll keep you up to date with the championship scores as well. The penalty is just being stalled a little bit. Before we let you know who scored, let's look at Arsenal going to Leeds tomorrow.
Good game, that.
Good game.
Are Arsenal the real deal? I mean, it's a question that a lot of us have asked, and who better to ask than the Don himself? Here's Robbie on if Arsenal are the real deal or not.
This season,
no, they're not.
Teams are like, yo, they are all that. And we got to bring our absolute A game, and we got no chance.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, it's good for us because we're carrying a fear factor at the moment. So we're going into games, and teams are potentially a bit frightened of us. You know what I mean? Because they know Jesus, Martinelli, Saka, all these. They know about all the weapons. So there's that fear factor, which is great to carry that. But also we're the hunted. We're top of the league at the moment.
Yeah,
we're the hunted.
And with that comes, I suppose, a little bit of pressure, which they're handling, if I'll be honest, Rob, you know what I mean? But, the last two games, as great as they have been at home, so you have got that home advantage. Yeah. There is something in that. So it is important that you go there and defend well. Stop giving up these chances that we're doing, you know what I mean? And to be honest, in the last couple of games, Ramsdale hasn't been that busy, which has been a good thing.
Well, there you go. According to Robbie and Lee, Arsenal are the real deal. Will they stay on top of the table this weekend?
I think so. I think they will. I can't see us losing to Leeds. And we are the real deal this season. We're not obviously going to win the title, but we are matching the hype that's being said of us. It's a good team. Good team, well coached, consistent, together. I'd be surprised if Leeds can pull off a shock win.
Sarr has actually saved that penalty for Wolves, by the way. So a massive missed chance there for Forest away at Molineux.
Brennan Johnson with the miss.
Brennan Johnson with the miss. Wow. Well, listen, tough place to go and score a penalty with 15 minutes to go as the away team, and he's missed it. Jose Sarr saves it. Do you think Arsenal are the real deal?
In terms of?
Well, you tell me. What can they achieve?
What makes a real deal?
Exactly.
Top four will make them.
What do you think?
Can they what? Top four?
Yeah.
Yeah, they get top four. I said they'd finish third at the start of the season, maybe. I mean, can they win the league? The Europa League.
I'll take that.
They can't win the Premier League.
I'll take that.
They will not win the Premier League.
No.
It's way too early to be talking about that. But they've looked very impressive. I tell you what, somehow business has been spot on. Saliba coming back looks outstanding. But unfortunately, you just can't catch Man City. Unfortunately, you won't be able to catch Man City in the end, but they've looked very impressive. Arteta looks like he's finally getting his style of play embedded there with the team that he's brought in through the door. So they've looked really, really good. Better than everyone expected, I think. But I think they'll finish top four.
Yeah. Because at the start of the season, before the season started, I thought we'd finish third or fourth. But I'm just changing that. I'm going to go second.
Second, yeah.
Second. I don't think... I agree with you. I can't see Arsenal winning the league. But it's just nice to be there. So
definitely.
Oh, this is a massive overachievement right now.
Huge
what is going on. And I think... you could say the back-to-back 8th places were underachieving, but this is balancing that out now. Like, all of that pain and embarrassment and banter club and all that stuff, if they finish second,
huge
that's chalked off all that other crap from before, 100%. And then it all starts to make sense in terms of, not bringing a striker in last January to close in top four because you wanted to wait on Jesus, bringing in Zinchenko to be that inverted left back that allows Xhaka to overlap more and get further forward. And it's quite incredible, to be fair. I do agree that people do need to hold their horses in terms of title run. And the reason why I say that is because it's not even just about squad depth and experience in terms of the managerial situation. The World Cup's coming, of course, that's going to interrupt things, but the title race is grueling, and Liverpool know that. When you've got somebody breathing down your neck constantly, not not breathing up your bum, like you said.
No, yeah.
Breathing down your neck. Breathing down your neck.
Slapping asses, yeah.
Breathing down your neck, week in, week out. It's going to take its toll on those young players.
It's true.
And it's going to take its toll on that young manager.
Yeah.
And that is the difference, is being able to cope with that pressure when you wake up in the morning knowing that you have to win. It's mandatory. You have no option but to win.
We have to wait until we get a spring for me. We're seeing what happened with the top four in the spring last
That
year.
being
last
said,
month.
though, they do look like mentality monsters this season. I mean, I'm just coining what Klopp called Liverpool last season. No, but on the real, Arsenal actually do. Like, for me, they actually...
need to do that, we are.
I'm not trying to
See
take
it tomorrow.
I'm not trying to take the mickey out of Liverpool, but like the team.
I know you weren't, but he was.
on it today.
The team are resilient.
Good to turn up.
The team are really. They look really resilient. They look like, okay, cool. Things don't go their way. They don't get their heads down and cry and moan. They're like, okay, cool. This is the situation. Let's get up. Let's make something happen.
Because you have conceded some goals, and it's like, no, regardless of you conceding the goal, it's not changing the tie of the game.
Exactly.
Like it's not making it turn into a capitulation or heads are dropping and suddenly now it spirals out of control. They're just like, all right, we conceded, get back on the horse, bang. And I don't like to do this, mad. But whatever ultras atmosphere you're creating at the Emirates, it seems to be working.
Yeah.
Because they're right behind the team, to be fair to them.
Oh, it's good to,
you know?
finally turn up to this stadium. It's been 16 years in the making.
Finally,
I mean,
wait, that's not
what
fair.
I can't get my head
That's
around
not
is like they think they've invented playing a song before the teams walk out.
Do they? Do they
They've got
actually
that
think
North
that?
London Forever
Yeah,
song,
yeah,
Louis
yeah.
Dunford, right? Which is a good song. But they're like, oh yeah, we've
but
got this
that's-
song now, mate. You know what I mean? We walk out, we're all buzzing. What about You Never Walk Alone? What about
Bleeding Races.
What was it? What's your one called?
Bleeding Races.
Yeah, there you
Bleeding
go.
Races
We've all
been
got
going
one.
since the 80s,
We can all have a
isn't it?
push and a pull back.
Yeah, I can't speak for the fans that are saying
All
that.
pull and push.
It's just nice, basically.
AGT, is Matty Tosin for never giving Arsenal credit? He always becomes quiet on Arsenal mention. I'm pretty sure you just did give him credit.
Didn't I just give them?
No,
the
he's
credit
a
there?
tosser, though.
Not good
Massive
enough. Not good
tosser.
enough. Not enough credit. You
Big
should have said they
tosser.
could win the World Cup this winter.
I don't understand. I'm just literally giving them credit.
Do you
the
not think they can
players,
win the World Cup?
coach. Yeah,
they win
sure
the
they can.
Euros.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
better.
I reckon. Do you know what?
That's better. Much
I
more.
would go as far as
Much
saying
more credit.
Arsenal could, and I don't say this lightly, they could be in with a chance to win Eurovision this year as well.
Yeah, I got back them.
Which is in Liverpool this year, actually. Eurovision.
Oh, you beat us to that.
No, and Glasgow.
At least some sort of
we were
Europe
the
will be
last,
coming to Liverpool this season.
Sorry, how many Champions Leagues have you won?
Okay, that's fair enough.
Fair enough. Get off! Get off! Oh, God. Right, let's go through predictions then for Arsenal, or I should say Leeds versus Arsenal at Ellen Road, 2 o'clock kickoff on a Sunday.
3-1. 3-1
Arsenal. Massive away win, which would keep them at the top.
I was going to say 3-1, so I'll be different and say 3-0. Is that enough for the champ?
Can I just say as well,
that
as
for the
we're
champ?
giving Arsenal all this credit,
Yeah, is that good enough?
Arsenal fans are
6-0.
also on this journey with us. You're not excluded, guys. Arsenal fans at home, yeah? Remember when you were singing Arteta out?
It's true.
Xhaka,
It's true.
get out of our club.
Hulk Hogan.
You're on this journey with us, so make sure that you repent
It's
with
true.
us. Yes,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
make sure
yeah.
that you say sorry and that you were wrong and that you didn't see this coming
Well
and
said.
that this team has performed well above your expectations.
Flip-flops.
You make sure you say that with us,
Well
yeah?
said.
Because we as
Flip-flops.
rivals, we don't have to defend your club
feel
because we
like
don't
giving them
support
a
them.
clap.
You do. So you support your club, you get behind them, and you make sure that you say sorry too.
Yeah, it's true.
Outstanding speech.
Yeah,
good
well
speech.
done.
Yeah.
No, don't clap
myself.
yourself. Don't,
I will.
That's when you've just ruined it. Don't clap yourself. Come on, mate.
It's true.
Yeah, my prediction. Do you know what? Yeah, on the Big Six, I said 1-1 because I desperately. I'm thinking all winning runs must come to an end, but I regretted it as soon as it came out of my mouth.
Leeds.
So
Yeah.
it's Leeds, isn't it? I just don't. They're at home. You think the team are gonna.
I mean,
they're
they
gonna
did
have
slap
that.
Chelsea.
Yeah, they did. That's what I'm
Slap
saying.
you up 3-0.
Yeah, they're a different. They're a different team now.
Zipperoonie.
They're a different team now with this
Turkish,
coach.
he's talking to you, says
A little bit more
Undone.
compact.
You listening?
I'm talking to a lot of Arsenal fans. Trust me.
True. Turkish, Robbie.
I'm talking about just
Troops
not
again.
social media, like actual, just all of you. Do you know what I mean?
Well, except for me.
So yeah, I think
Score
yeah.
prediction
Unfortunately, I think they'll probably win that. I'll probably go 3-1. Unfortunately.
Do you know what? I'm going to go 4-1 Arsenal.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
I mean, we won by that
But I
margin
do
last
think
season.
Leeds score first. And the thing with Leeds, though, they've got such a raucous atmosphere there when it gets going. But if they concede first,
Yeah.
the fans will turn quickly. It's a bit like Everton. I was saying this yesterday. Like if you concede the first goal after getting such a big build-up at the start of the game from the fans, they can turn on you quick, man.
Should be goals in that game though, because Leeds are very open.
Yeah.
Still playing that style of play where they're just gung-ho. Very gung-ho.
Yeah. There you go. Around 10 to 15 minutes until the 3 o'clock games finish. It's still Fulham 2, Bournemouth 2, and it's still Wolves 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Speaking of another game, tomorrow Tottenham are playing Aston. Wait, what's this? Tottenham aren't playing Villa. That's an old one. Tottenham are playing Everton.
You're
obviously
playing
at 5:30. So that is incorrect factual information that I've been sent. But Tottenham have lost just one of their last 19 Premier League meetings, with Everton going down 1-0 at home in September 2020. I think Calvert-Lewin scored that day. After winning 3 consecutive away league games against Spurs between 06 and 08, Everton have won just one of their subsequent 13 visits, and Tottenham have won their last 7 Premier League home games, their longest run since the streak between 2016-17. All of these things point to a big Tottenham win, Tosin.
I'm not going to go big Tottenham win. I'm just going to go Tottenham win.
Yeah. Richarlison is playing as well, by the way. We talked about it at the start of the show. Richarlison is
starting. Does 2-0 count as a big win?
Does a
2-goal margin really count as a big win? Yeah,
it's a win.
It's a Tottenham win.
Yeah, I think 2-0 Tottenham.
2-0 Tottenham?
I had 2-0 Tottenham as well.
Yeah, 2-0.
It's going to be a horrible game to watch.
Horrible game to watch.
I'm not looking forward to it. But there you go. I'm going to go with the slim Tottenham win as well. Let's move on then to the real big one of the weekend. We've spoken about all the other games apart from this one, and now there's the time to get your predictions in the chat. I know a lot of you were looking to talk about this earlier on in the show, but we've saved it till the end for you. Liverpool versus City. Let's hear from Pep Guardiola before this massive game at Anfield, Sunday, 4:30.
Always have been, always it is, and will be. Yeah.
So you think again this year, despite their start, they're still your biggest challengers?
Yeah.
Why do you have so much faith in them, considering the position that they're in?
Because I know the quality they have. They know the quality we have. So if I would say this question when 10 games left, I would say I think Liverpool cannot catch the top of the league, in that case Arsenal. But being in the position that we are in the World Cup, still everything can happen.
Game against Marseille, you had to rely on a man getting
No, you're
this
high.
Game, you
no. Agenda's about rely. You get me? What happens? You, man, had to rely on the man getting sent off then. The game weren't over, blood, when you beat us.
We were winning 2-1.
So what, blood? The game wasn't over, like I said. So what? You had to rely on the man getting sent off as well?
What we rely on?
No, don't try it, blood. Look at this guy. Caught out, blood. Caught out in his waffle, blood.
You know what made me laugh this week? You see the Liverpool fans, they've been salty all week, man. You know what I mean? Sending me things. Oh, Robbie, look at this.
Oh,
this was offside. This camera weren't working. You lost, man.
Oh, what? Because I saw Gabriel, what's his name? Ricky Martinelli, fam. You know what I mean? He stamped on one of their players and should have been sent off.
Sent off which part? It was completely different.
I saw.
Nah, it's completely different to yours.
What do you mean? What was different about it, Robert? Inform me.
Completely different, because your guy deliberately did it like that because he wanted to come off.
Do you know what's going on in Emerson Royale's head? Like?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, nothing. You know what I mean?
There you go. There's Robbie and expressions from Best of Enemies yesterday. And we did hear there from Pep Guardiola in his press conference yesterday. And he said he still gives Liverpool all the credit because he still knows the quality in the team. Do you agree with him?
It's good to see him, being professional, paying respect. But no, not now.
Really? Are you just writing off all of Liverpool's quality? Because at Arsenal we saw... No, just
that was some of the best football
season.
No, you can't. I tell you what, I've seen as well was that Liverpool unbeaten in 5.5 years at home at Anfield. That is mental. That, by the way, that is outrageous. That's an achievement in itself. And I mean, the Premier League and the Champions League. So, not in that sense, no.
2 wins in 20 years for City at Anfield.
No, it's gonna be 3 tomorrow. Sorry, mate.
What if it's not though?
Can you
build a case?
I can see
Liverpool to win this.
I can see Liverpool getting
full of confidence, I suppose, after winning by 7 in the Champions League. No matter who it's against, if you score 7 past them, you're going to be full of confidence. No matter if it's Rangers or Real Madrid, you're going to be full of confidence. But I can't. Sorry, just looking at City, Haaland's meant to be fit, isn't he? After there was doubts, you can't look past a big City win for me.
I wouldn't be surprised if Salah scores tomorrow. I genuinely would not be surprised.
Yeah,
it is devil's advocate though. I mean, I pretty much said this before they came up to St James's and you drew 3-3 with them. No one gave you a chance in that game.
No.
They can be got at. You scored 3
Facts.
against them, mate. They can be got at.
We should have won that game.
And at Anfield, you should have definitely won that
Yeah.
game.
Defensively, I think
should have won that
they
game.
look weaker this season defensively.
I mean, look at them individually. They have 4 world-class centre-backs, I think. Stones, Laporte, Diaz and Akanji.
World-class, really?
Stones isn't world-class.
They're definitely all up there,
I
aren't
wouldn't
they?
say Akanji's world class.
I'd say Diaz is the best.
Akanji's
Diaz and
world-class.
Laporte are
Diaz and
maybe the
Laporte.
best then.
Laporte and
Especially
Diaz.
Diaz.
Akanji's looking good as well. But when you look at all of them individually, I don't think many of them have had a 5-10 game period where they've stayed together. He changes all the time. So I'll ask you now, is there a case for you to build for Liverpool to win this game tomorrow and Man City to be got at?
If your defence wasn't worse, then yeah. But
Yeah,
your defence has been horrendous, and you've got you've got the best striker in the world up there in Erling Haaland, who will be chomping at the bit, as they
Licking
say.
his lips.
Licking his lips to feast upon that injury-plagued defence. There's no Trent, which is maybe a saving grace for you guys in terms of defensively, but now there's no Kante, and Kante was going to be a big piece in the puzzle to stop Haaland. Now it's just Van Dijk, who's been defending with aura since the start of the season. So Gomez comes into centre back. Maybe if James Milner's playing right back, that's a big problem.
Forfeit the thing.
He can do a job there, though.
Foden making these runs off Haaland, and you've got Grealish on that left-hand side potentially, or whoever. I don't see how you're going to be able to cope. And then the midfield on top of that, in front of it, is not on the level needed to shield that defence. The midfield
Well,
is
this
a
was the
mess.
next question, right?
So-
we spoke about the
stressed
midfield.
Yeah.
If Liverpool do stick with the 4-2-4 that we've been playing the last 2 games, can you even do that against City, considering they have 3 central midfielders?
Definitely
Never see the
not.
ball.
It'll be
are
a
we
massacre.
seeing a 4-3-3?
I think he'll
tomorrow?
go 4-3-3.
Got to. It'll be a
Has to.
massacre
Yeah.
if you do that 4-2-4.
Say that again?
Halloween will come early.
Massacre.
Michael Myers sentence if you do that at Anfield tomorrow, like 4-2-4. I hope you do. Be entertaining.
Well, that's what we want. That's what we want.
And then I don't know. It's like there's too many parts at Liverpool right now that are not making sense in terms of Salah. I know he got a hat trick in midweek against Rangers. It was like a moment of madness, but he's not on form overall.
True.
He's a big part of your plans. Diaz is not available, which I think is a massive miss.
Jota, though.
Jota, yeah.
Nunez,
I don't know.
I think will score. I think Nunez will score.
I would prefer if Firmino. I think
2 that you give us.
I think
Salah and Nunez.
You have
How
to-
many they
That's from
get?
your score prediction.
you have to start Firmino over
in a minute.
Nunez surely as well, isn't it? Defensively.
Ooh, now this is one of those 2 players is going to get dropped tomorrow because of the fact that we're probably going to be forced to play
And it's
3
got
in
to
the
be
middle.
Nunez.
But this is the thing, 2 and 2 for
No,
Nunez.
don't drop
2
him.
and 2.
Not when his confidence is getting up.
No,
I would play Nunez.
it-
So you play
yeah, I'd
Nunez
play
because
Nunez.
Firmino's been banging in the goals.
Firmino knows his role. He knows
He's
that
been
he
brilliant
can be
though
the
as
main
well.
man.
He's the older head
If
that's
you
just
need
gonna
me to
come in.
chill
But
for a
do you
bit,
not need that
alright, I'll let
experience?
the new man shine a
I
little
really
bit.
like Bobby
I
Firmino.
fully
Oh
agree.
mate, I love. He's
I think
honestly
he's class.
top
I
2,
think
top
he's
3
class,
Liverpool
mate.
players for me in Klopp
He's
era.
absolutely class.
He's played the most games under Klopp, so
I like it.
Would you not want him?
Except for the fact that he
would you
always
not,
scores against Arsenal.
Would you not ask Firmino to cut out Rodri, stop him from getting on the ball, getting time to pick up his head?
But this is the conundrum we find
Nunez can
ourselves
put the
looking
work
at,
in,
man.
though.
He can put the
I'm
work
just
in,
thinking
but has he got
Firmino's-
the head to
Yeah.
not get rattled and stay
Sent off.
composed? For me, it's like if you go with Firmino and you take Nunez out, you are
And
allowing
allow Salah
Rodri
to
to have a
run
bit more
centrally
time.
again.
Yeah, I hear that. But if you drop Nunez for this game, like Matty said, after 2 in 2, his confidence is just starting to go like that. You drop him, he's going to go.
He came here up for the big games.
Yeah,
but
Came here
you
for the
start
moments.
him in these big
I
games.
start him,
I don't
man.
agree.
'Cause
Bit of a-
he's-
bit of a
he's-
vocal point.
He's a goals machine. He just needs time. He's going to get goals. I think they should start him.
Whenever Klopp brings in new players, he doesn't just throw them in every single game. Keita eased him in. Fabinho eased him in.
Robbo.
Robbo. He always eases in players, and I think just because Nunez costs a lot of money, I don't think he should change that because it's worked. It's Kante. Every single player that he's brought in and he's eased in and he's let them settle, and not just like panicked. They've settled and they've started to play really well, barring obviously injuries for Keita all the time. And I think he's actually been decent for Liverpool. He just can't stay fit.
He hasn't played the season.
So for me, I feel like Firmino, what he could do for you tactically,
That's a good point.
and allow Salah to make those runs inside because Salah for me, he's the key man. He has to be on form in this game.
But then you don't play him up front when you've just spent all that money on Nunes and Firmino's in form. Because who then would? I mean, you could play Harvey Elliott.
No, I'm not saying play
Salah's
Salah up front.
position.
I'm playing play Salah off the right. Play for like just go back to the template. What Liverpool do best. Because Nunes is I don't know. I feel like him being the centrepiece is making Salah have to stay out more wide, and you're taking away from Salah a bit. And Salah's the guy.
Yeah, no, for sure. Salah is that guy still, as you saw the other night. And those 3 goals, I think the second and third were him playing as a number 9. But again, you don't play him as a number 9 when you've got Nunes. No.
I guess Nunes just needs to adjust the way he plays to Liverpool.
Yeah, Klopp said already that Liverpool are out of the title race, which I'd agree with.
Yeah.
We're very close to finishing the Premier League as well, by the way. But Pep says they could still be in it if Liverpool win on Sunday. I mean, if you beat City, let's not forget, Christmas time we were 14 points behind City.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
We get to the end of the season, we're 1 point behind them.
True.
Currently, we're about 7 or 8 behind them. Or no, it's about 9 behind them.
Yeah,
if we win that, we're only 6 points
it's
behind
not an
them.
insurmountable gap, to be fair. So,
how many points they got?
I think
13 points behind City.
Right,
14 points behind Arsenal.
If we beat them, it's 10 points, and that can be done, I think.
It can be, yeah.
It can be done.
Especially when you've got that in place, though.
Yeah.
Full time at Craven Cottage. It has finished Fulham 2, Bournemouth 2. Still playing at the Molineux, just seconds left there. Wolves still 1-0 up.
Do you guys think this Liverpool team's capable of going on a 10-game winning run?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think they can.
I think this Liverpool
the
team
quality's
not
there.
the same as the old
Quality's
Liverpool
there,
teams.
bro.
Maybe
the
after the
quality's
World
there,
Cup, though.
Is the quality there without Mane and without?
Come on. The
Bro,
quality
Jota,
100%
Nunes,
is
Firmino,
there.
Thiago, Henderson,
The quality
Salah.
is
Like,
there.
come on, bro.
There's
We
just
can
lots of players
on the day.
simultaneously out of form. Like it's rare where you get Salah out of form as well as TAA out of form as well as Van Dijk. Like there's so many players all together out of form at the same time. I've never really seen this happen before.
I don't think the World Cup's going to do well for many teams. Like, it's not going to do well for Arsenal having that break. I think
it's gonna
momentum,
be bad for Arsenal.
but it's going to be good for Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it could change after the World Cup. Liverpool could go on a run.
It's not necessarily going to be that bad for Arsenal. I mean, Jesus is going to
You just want the momentum when you win them, though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I said that the other week that Arsenal, don't really want it to come at that time when they're playing so well.
I think a lot of these players that you're mentioning are getting older. And I don't see the injuries stopping. It could be tired.
They need to refresh the midfield, man.
This whole going on a 10-game
midfield needs a
this whole going on a 10-game run. Yeah, you've done that how many seasons? But these guys are now approaching their early 30s. So to ask them to keep being able to chuck out these runs, I don't think it's going to happen. I think this is where you've reached your limit in terms of trying to do this 10-game, 11-game run, and you actually need to refresh the squad. You're mentioning players like Henderson getting older. Getting older, Van Dijk getting older, all these guys, Firmino getting older. They can't keep doing this.
No,
I don't think it's going to happen.
Is there a chance if Liverpool win on Sunday to kind of put them back in with that Arsenal category where you're looking at a team who can maybe have a much better second half to the season? That's for sure. But
I think they can.
I think this game, if we win it, everything changes mentality-wise for Liverpool.
They can.
Should do.
Do you think you can seriously
win it? I think we can win it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because of City's form and your form?
Liverpool can definitely win.
Let's just remember where we're playing and that
well, that's what I'm saying about that stat about 5-0.
Yeah,
is remarkable.
Come on, we're still Liverpool, we're still Anfield.
People are moving like Liverpool or Everton or something. Man City are coming to Anfield.
I'll send in my own super chat.
Respect on City.
I'll just send a tenner to send in a super chat.
I can see Liverpool getting something. City's defense isn't impenetrable. They'll score goals, but then they can be got at, mate.
They
Full
can be
time at
got
Molineux as well. The Premier League has wrapped up the 3 o'clock kickoffs. It has finished Wolves 1, Forest 0.
Massive win.
Another
for
defeat
Wolves.
for Forest.
Neves gets the goal. AGT man, both Kante and Matisse are out. We're not winning. Sorry if there was audio issues. I think we're back with you now. Liverpool ain't even getting top 4, says Jinx. We also have news recently that has just broken online, and that is that Manchester United forward Mason Greenwood has been charged.
Wow.
But that's it. We will not say anything else on it. That's all we can say on it for now. Let's go around the table and do our
game over for
predictions then for Liverpool City. What do you reckon the score's going to be?
You know what? 2-2. Liverpool 2, City 2.
I think that's a sensible scoreline.
Well, you're not going to like this one.
Well, I'll just cover my ears for this. What is it? Go on then, mate. How many?
So I said, I think Salah will score. I said I think Núñez will score.
Right, so that's
it's
2.
going to be Liverpool 2, Manchester City 5.
5? I did not expect that, bro. I was
the way you
thinking
said
3
it.
tops.
I read it out like it was official, man. I'm rounding
You read it out like a result.
The Saudi money got Newcastle fans.
Yo, the way you read that out.
Crazy,
Wow. Winning away at United and now slagging off Liverpool. Wow. Saudi money.
Full time at Anfield.
That's something to you.
Sorry, mate.
Well, there you go.
I
Let us
would
know in
much
the
rather be
comments.
Liverpool.
Thank you.
I would rather be
Appreciate it,
Liverpool
mate.
win, but I
Thank
can't.
you very much. Matty is a wind-up, says Mike Z. He
Hey,
is,
what do you
absolutely.
mean?
He is. Right then, I'm going to go with a Liverpool 2-1 win. What did you say?
3-1 Man City.
3-1 Man City. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. Well, don't forget, we will be back on DR Sports tomorrow with the Clásico watch-along, which intertwines with the Liverpool versus City game. Let's get into our predictions then. Matty sent me his. Obviously, Tosin and Matisse didn't send me theirs. But
Get the
Matty
chilies
said,
out, boys. Producers, get the
yeah,
chilies.
chili times for both the fellas on the right and left of me. Fulham 1, Bournemouth 2 is what you went with there, fella. Can't give you any points for that. Wolves 1, Forest 1 is what you went for. Very close in both. I went with Fulham 2, Bournemouth 1, which I got wrong, but I did go with Wolves 2, Forest
So you won by a
1,
point.
so I win by a point. So
well
it's,
done, mate.
if, in my opinion, it should be all you three doing it.
No.
Why would you not do it though? Because you lost. It was only
I
me
didn't
and you,
lose.
innit? Yeah, you did.
Not
Between me and
really.
you, I just beat you 1-0. This is like
Surely
the quiz
not.
all over again.
You can't buy your way out of this one like your team.
Go on
Well,
then.
how many chilies do we have? Oh, we've only got 2.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, that's
Well,
only,
if
it's
we've only got
fair,
2.
yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Cheaters.
Tosin and Matisse. There you go,
That
Tosin.
is
Other
ridiculous.
chilies are available. This is a medium heat, so you should be all right, mate.
Do you like your spicy food?
Nah, I love spicy food.
Oh, you said
Okay.
it.
Just
Well,
like,
if you love it, then there should be
Who
no
was that on the show?
So I'm
We
eating
did it
the
in,
whole thing. Even the seeds.
Yeah, I love food and that.
No.
Who was the guy? Oh, it was Dan, wasn't it? Dan from
Dan,
West Ham
yeah,
Fan
yeah.
TV.
Eat now, yeah.
He was
Yeah,
sweating,
get
man.
it
Dan
in.
was
The
sweating.
whole thing, bro. Whole thing.
Dan was sweating.
Matisse,
Matisse went in there, like.
chucking the seeds away like that.
Wow.
He was eating a donut before. This is a little bit spicier than a donut.
What are you going to do in less than
Hand
5
over
minutes,
the
Matisse?
mouth.
Finish your
Yeah,
chili.
be running to the bogs. That's what he'll be doing.
Be flat out.
Is he just going to go for the swallow pause or?
Dawson's looking safe, yeah, like. He's looking safe. Little cough. No,
You
not
look
phased.
cool.
Ah,
You
he
look
is.
ice
It's
cool.
hot, but
Cool,
alright.
calm and composed, oh yeah.
My plan was, if
had
I just
worse.
swallow it, it's less time in my mouth making a madness.
Pause.
But the throat's going to be...
Pause indeed.
but the throat's going to be kicking off in a minute.
Unbelievable.
The water does. It's not really gonna.
Yeah, the
You're
water-
better off just firming the heat. It doesn't do anything.
The water makes it much worse.
It makes
I can't
it worse.
confirm
If
that.
anything, you want milk at this time.
Yeah.
That hasn't helped.
Nah, it makes it worse.
How hot out of 10?
Well, it's worse now after the water.
He's looking for anything to drink now.
It's not gonna
Big
help.
beer now, dude.
It's gonna hurt, but you're better off just firming it. Just firm it for like the next 2 minutes. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Dude,
done this
Tosin,
before.
man. He's
Done this
definitely
before,
done
innit?
this before, man.
Yeah.
Tosin is
Orange
cool.
Buffalo, Shoreditch, the worst.
Yeah.
That's the worst one. It's way hot.
When you get
Is
sponsor,
that
get
yeah,
that down
exactly.
here.
That, do you know what? We need a spicy
They play
food
Russian
company.
roulette with wings, and they put naga chili.
Sriracha, get in touch. Sriracha.
Yeah,
Love it. Love it.
That'd be good.
Are you that guy that wears the gloves when you're going in with the spicy wings?
Nah, it's because it was a
Why
game.
the producer's making the camera pan on me, man? I'm watching you lot. Yeah, I'm watching the TV, bro. Don't try it.
Zoom in on the sweat.
Just zoom in if we can.
Look at
There's
them.
a couple
They're
of
trying to
beads
start.
falling.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
It's
I'm
basically
good.
it's a game where you've got 8 wings in like a box, and you can play it between. We played it between 4 people, and usually
Ooh,
they
that's
put one.
dangerous,
They
man.
put one wing that's flavored with naga chili. Like it's
Ghost Naga chili, I've heard
it's
of that
so
one.
hot. Like even
That's
like,
the hottest,
Yeah,
isn't it?
even like licking it, like it does.
Even looking at it.
Yeah, but
Cheers.
basically, I was like, I came in, I'm like, yeah, I can handle spice, yeah. And someone's like, okay, you know what, put 2 naga chili wings in there instead
you
of
ate
2 out of
both.
8. And
You
I
got
was
both?
I was adamant I would not get one, so I ate the whole I ate the whole wing. I got the naga chili one. It was like an atomic bomb exploded in my stomach and mouth. It was just crazy.
Oh, mate, that
man.
sounds like a trip to the old
A&E?
toilette. Or A&E, in fact, if
Very
it's that
messy.
bad, for sure. Big up to Tosin, says Phil Mitchell. Love your stuff on EastEnders, mate. Actually, I don't. I hate soaps. That was a
hate
joke,
soaps so
actually.
much. Apart from
Do
Dream
people
Team.
still watch soaps? That was good. But do people still watch soaps? It's a
Apparently
stupid,
so,
I like Phil
stupid
Mitchell,
thing.
and I liked EastEnders when it was good.
EastEnders used to bang when Peggy and
Yeah,
Peggy.
get out my pub.
the slaps were iconic.
Bradley dying.
Well, listen, we've diverted far away from Premier League football. Talking about EastEnders, but there you go. The Premier League games are finished. Fulham 2, Bournemouth 2, Wolves 1, Forest 0. It's been a great show. Thank you very much for joining us. If you've been in the comments, we've had a lot of talking points. Do remember to, if you haven't watched this live, go back and still comment and subscribe to DR Sports if you haven't. Subscribe to the Magpie channel. Subscribe to Matisse. Keep an eye out for Tosin as well, the better half of the twin combination of Tobes and Tosin, I think. And of course, subscribe to the Cop TV. We've got some incredible fan cams for you outside Anfield after. James Redmond will be doing those. Trust me, it's going to be an absolute belter. And of course, we've got El Clásico and the watch along on DR Sports tomorrow. Got a lot going on. So thank you very much, everyone. It's been a great show.
Pleasure, lads. Pleasure. Good show.
My pleasure.
Good show, boys.
Great to be here with you guys.
Thank you very much for joining us. That's been the Saturday Football Show. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Sweet. Cheers. Bye.